the news into English and French. Sorry, into English and Hausa, because the original news was in French from Benin Republic. They interpreted it into English and Hausa and then broadcast it on their radio. Then the Northerners began to kill Igbos. Now forget what officers began to kill regular people. Listen, it doesn't matter how it happened, what happened was terrible. But I'm just telling you that Nigeria's history, we only talk about what happened. We never talk about why. And if you never ask the question why, you are not better than the clown walking the streets just disturbing the world and being a nuisance. You've got to be able to question things. And if you understood why, you will not have raised people like this in 2026. Who probably as a child, and I feel sorry for whoever this person gives birth to. Because what's the level of intelligence that person will have? If you go to other person's land and you're telling them that your fathers also got here years ago and there'll be natural selection, you'll be brilliant. You know what? So it doesn't look as if I'm even making it up. Listen to the rest of this range, because this guy is an interesting person. I don't want to say anything bad, but take a listen. His name is Jerry Wobodo. Somebody asked me what's his name. His name is Jerry Wobodo. And he's not alone. To be clear, he's not an individual. I've heard things like this. But just to have the bonus to make this video and put it on social media is actually quite crazy. But take a listen, please.
Domination. It's human beings. We will move. And as we move, we propagate stronger species. Are you aware that natural selection actually chooses who stays and who leaves? Not by your...
Did this man just say that they will move and they will propagate stronger species? Or you propagate stronger species. You know, what if the weaker species hear this and deal with you before you become even strong enough to move them out? This is, and I'm holding myself back. By the way, this video is going out. This is ridiculous. And that's the mildest word I can use, because it's absolutely stupid for a person to say this. Even if your hosts are stupid, don't tell them to their face. Say, I'm going to outwit you with natural selection, where the stronger one will replace you in the land. And you plan to live in the land. If you're an Igbo here, I want to advise you, call your elders, have a meeting. They need to talk to you. You guys need to have conversations. Meanwhile, what Buhari said is true. He promised 15 psychiatric outposts in the southeast. President Tinubu has to do something about it. People are mentally retarded. You know what? I'm going to play. Let me just read. So it doesn't look like I'm insulting. I'm literally quoting the elders. This is absolutely insane. This is a book called Witness to Justice. All right? Witness to Justice. It was written by Matthew Asan Cook. I want to tell you one of the claims that the Igbo leader said during the Oputa panel. When they were asking for killing, they talked about remedies, not the musicians. You know remedies. No remedies? All right, no remedies by, Aegis and Eddie and Tony Tetrila. Anyway, remedies sought by Ohaneze. They talked about the things they wanted, then they talked about calculation of human losses during the Civil War. They mentioned all kinds of things. Then they mentioned that they had 2 million children who are now intellectually permanently retarded. I think those ones had children. This was let me not say is one of them. You get the point. 2 million children now intellectually permanently retarded. 2 million Igbos who were psychologically traumatized. Igbo elders wrote this and sent it to Oputa panel. Not even said it, they presented it at Oputa panel. They need to do something about these ones who are intellectually permanently retarded. I did not say it, they said it. That's why I'm reading it. So I did not say that I'm insulting anybody. Because how will you be saying this kind of thing in other people's lands? You will have natural selection, you will remove them in their land, and you expect to fire a law.
All right, thank you very much for joining us today. Good evening, everybody, across all platforms. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for your support. We're just listening to a video I consider very, very important, and I think I think you should watch it. It's titled Uncovering the Igbo Nazi Agenda and the Nazi Logic of Modern Igbo Expansionists. That's a very long I mean, it's a mouthful, but if you go on YouTube, you always just look for Igbo Nazi agenda and you find it there. It's something that we should all know, particularly because of the dynamics of our society in Yoruba land and what Nigeria has done to us, so to speak. But it's important that we all, watch this thing so we understand how people think and why people act the way they do. Having said that, I don't know why people, yesterday we were having a conversation. Before I do that, let me thank folks on TikTok first. Excuse me. The people on TikTok who have been power tapping and they've helped us get to 27.9k likes, right? And that's because they keep liking the live and also sharing it. So I want to thank you very much for your support. God bless you. All right, so the people here, I want to say some names. 1 second, please. Koboko, thank you so much. Emax, thanks a lot. Um, Ibojinodu, Emax, thank you. Emax really like this live. Well, thank you so much for your support. All right, thanks everybody for participating. If you're on TikTok, please like the live, share the live as well, um, so that we can have the folks on the other platforms see what we're doing on the FYP. Also, click on this heart icon to join the team. If you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, please like and share. If you're on Twitter, please like and repost. Now, somebody says that they have studied them very well for making that statement. I mean, to be honest, it's Nigeria is the best thing that happened to people from the southeast, which is why whenever they curse the land and say all kinds of things, it's as if people are essentially just destroying their own chances, you know, um, because Nigeria is actually the reason they can find themselves amongst others who are not at the same level of evolution but have gone further. You know, if you study anthropology, which I did and do, still do, there's certain words that folks don't like. I mean, particularly African scholars don't like using, and even European scholars don't, sometimes shy away from it. Words like primitive, or if you use such words, you're trying to be condescending and so on and so forth. They'll tell you, "Oh, what you're doing is essentially exceptionalism. You're trying to act as though you are existentialism and things like that." All those are evil. Let me tell you the truth. They are primitive human beings. Or civilization, or you're doing civilization according to European standards. Some people are high and low. Some people are high and low, whether it's European standard though, or African standard though, or any standard. Some people are low because it takes a very, very primitive mindset to utter some of the nonsense that boy was saying in that video we listened to. When you say you are moving to other people's lands, but you're going to outbreed them, you're going to have natural selection, they are going to come with stronger. I think that at this point, I always like to add this caveat, and it's important to me to do so. There's no perfect ethnicity anywhere in this world, and definitely not in Nigeria. Even my own ethnicity is not perfect. Everybody have waiting that they work on. But the difference between a developed group and a stagnant, forget underdeveloping or developing, a stagnant or retrogressing group is the ability to change, is the ability to adapt, is the ability to be dynamic and move on with the times. When you have people who are stuck in the past, who just think that they were supposed to revolve around, and the funny thing, let's even assume that you are USA now and you want the world to revolve around you. I wish you at least have something to show for your pride and ego. These clowns have nothing to show. Just disturbing the peace of the rest of the country. Anyway, um, I see some things happening in Osun State. I mean, we know about Osun election, which is one of the topics we're going to discuss today. And some of the things Davido said. Yesterday, we were having a conversation. Someone just mentioned it in passing that Davido had said something. And I had seen a video where he was talking about his ethnic identity, that, oh, he's Yoruba. But we're just talking about that bit. Unknown to me, or unbeknownst to me, apparently, while campaigning for his uncle, he had said some interesting things in, Osun State. And I think there's a level of ignorance. There's ignorance, then there's ignorance, there's naivety, and there's also stupidity. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but I don't want to say anything insulting. But the idea that people will say some things in Yoruba land in order to have people vote for them, there's some things you don't say. Ẹ máa pe màálù ní bọ́dà tó pẹ́ fẹ́ jẹ náà mọ̀. Ẹ kàn ṣépè fáwọn kan ẹ má worry. Let me play you this stuff so it doesn't look like I'm just talking. Because, I feel very, very bad. When I heard it, some people saying it to me, I was like, is it that when we grow, because we want to prove that we are Nigerian, do we lose every sense of our identity and every sense of pride? The kind of pride that actually makes you feel like your ethnicity is worth it. Like, do you lose all of that because you want to prove that you're a Nigerian? This may sound a bit awkward to you until you hear what I'm about to play. Give me a second. Take a listen to this. It's a very short clip.
It's
a very short clip. I don't know if you caught it. I'll play it one more time, or more times if I have to. Take a listen again. We have to understand there are many tribes in Osun, not only Yoruba, Igbo people, they here. There's a level of rubbish that we've come to accept in the name of one Nigeria. Imagine a person you go to Glasgow, and then you say something like, we have to understand Scotland is not just about, or Glasgow is not just about Scottish people. Italia is they here, or Irish they here. Are there Irish people living in Scotland? Yes. As a matter of fact, there are people from different parts of the world living in Scotland. But if you're a Scottish person who has sense, if you were raised well, would you say that kind of thing? Is Osun State too? That's why I say to you guys that this whole conversation we're always having when I say Lagos is not about Lagos alone. If you miss it on as far as Lagos is concerned, you are done. Because see, whether you like it or not, Lagos is Akande Gbegbo. And that's what it is. And it has moved, right? There was a time when Abeokuta was the reigning thing in the 19th century. It was Abeokuta. You had to be in Abeokuta. There was a time when it was Ibadan. There was a time when it was Oyo. It has moved. Today it's Lagos. The beautiful thing about Yoruba is that we understand, like, oh, this is the cities have gained notoriety. We accord them the respect, but we also acknowledge the one that's actually hot right now. Now Lagos, they're hot now. So if you allow some things in Lagos, you're literally saying that it's okay to do it anywhere. And I've said several times, let nobody come to you telling you that after all it's cosmopolitan. The idea of cosmopolitanism in Yoruba land has nothing to do with Nigeria. You know what? Maybe we're going to read that book today. There's a book I wanted to read to you about Yoruba urbanism. If we have time, we'll get to it today. If not, we'll see. I don't want to change. We'll see how it goes. Yoruba urbanism. By the time Oyinbo got here, you already had cities. You had places where you had 50,000 people living, 70,000, 120,000 people before Oyinbo got here. So the idea, and if you have that many people, definitely there are people of other ethnicities living amongst you. And this goes all the way back to our very first empire, Ife, where you always have different groups. So the point of, are there other people living here, is a stupid question. I don't care who is asking it. We have always had other people living amongst us. Whether you go to Ife in the 10th century, over 1,000 years ago, or you go to Ekiti towns, where some of the kings were the ones who were actually the benefactors or the patrons of the houses who came to Ekiti to sell their wares, or you go to Oyalafi, where the Alaafin himself was one who even had to, in some cases, in some instances, fought on behalf of strangers living in his own in the capital against his own Bashorun. Every Abeokuta or Ibadan or if there are always strangers living amongst us. It's because we have cities. So you always have different people come around. You had Fulanis in Oyo, Hausas in Oyo. You had different people from different ethnicities in all over the place. We always have strangers. Nigeria did not teach us the concept of cosmopolitanism. Therefore, nobody in Nigeria can tell us how it should be practiced. Nobody. And here's the funny part. The people that we can even have that kind of conversation with, they will not even bother to teach us. The Hausas had Hausa city-states. You talk about Zazo, they were able to attract people from different parts, of the northern side, right? You, for whatever reason, maybe somebody married somebody or they gave birth to somebody or you have bedroom politics, whatever is wrong with you, you now get on stage and you say things like, Osun is not just your, it's not just your people that are in Osun. What kind of rubbish is this? Do we not know that we have strangers amongst us? Do we do anything to even this is why I tell politicians, and I'll say this, especially the next generation of politicians. I know you have to do anything to win. This nonsense about wearing Ishago in Yoruba land is stupid. I'm not sorry to say it. If you're a politician, you want to become governor in Yoruba land, you're wearing Ishago, is something wrong with you. I know the funny thing, Ishago, Ishewo, they still will not vote for you. You just be pandering all over the place to people. You should show that this is your place. Do you go to Igbo land and see them wearing kaftan to go and meet Hausa people and say, please vote for us? What kind of nonsense is this? Say we are cosmopolitan. You are cosmopolitan does not change the fact that at the core, this is a Yoruba space. I don't care. Listen, what are we even saying? Would you go to the UAE today or Dubai, for instance, and say Dubai is not just for the Emiratis? How many Nigerians are here? Dubai is less than 10% Emiratis. Go figure. Less than 10% of the people living in that place are citizens of Dubai, of the UAE. You can Google it or Google it, like somebody said. Google it. Go and verify. You can check it out. Do you go to that place and say there are other people? It's not just Emiratis living here. After all, there must be Nigerians or Togolese or Americans or Britons or whatever. Therefore what? It's not about pandering. See, would I like you to have the Igbo vote? Of course. But here's the question. Did they ask you to be wearing Isiagu? Leave them away. It's not even about them. I'm not saying they are doing. Did they ask you? And the funny thing is that you will not do it. No matter what you do, they still will not vote for you. Do people not learn? It has now gone to the point where a Yoruba boy is talking in Yoruba land and he's saying that Osun State is not just Yoruba people that live in Osun State. Igbo people, they here. This is beyond politics. This is identity crisis. When you don't know who you are, am I saying go there and insult Igbo people and say, I don't care about you, we are just Yoruba here, who needs Igbo votes? No, you're a politician, you need their votes. If you are really being truthful, they may not vote for you, Sha, but you would love to have as many votes as you can. But can you maintain some dignity while you're begging for votes? Can you at least carry yourself like Omalade and talk with some sense? Can you have conversations with people and say, you know what, I need your vote, I want you to vote for me? Must you pander to the point where you deprecate yourself in order to get pittance? They still will not vote for you. And I'm looking at the whole thing. I'm like, what is it about this person that everybody's even shouting? The person you are bringing Igbo people. Listen. I will say this thing. It's not even about I'm from Osun. I'm Yoruba. It's not even about state. I'm Yoruba man. There is no way you are jumping rivers and oceans. You look all around you. You don't find anybody that can do things. You have to go elsewhere. to go and look for people to be taking care of Osun Osogbo. Osun Osogbo. I'm a Christian, so I'm not. This is not about religion. Are you Isheshe? Why are you speaking up for them? Listen, at the core of it, that thing is at the core of your identity as a people. I may be a Christian, but Osun Osogbo. So kò sí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kan bíbí èèyàn kankan tó lè dá ṣe tó lè mọ nǹkan tó yẹ kán ṣe sọ́ọ̀ṣì Òṣogbo until you go and give somebody who says no, you cannot take pictures, you cannot do this, because they are going to commercialize it. Everything is about transaction and money. Everything is about money. You don't understand that you have to have that connection, and that's why I tell people that always shouting religion. It's not about religion. This is heritage site. Then you hand it over to people who, when they see people going there, all they see is a market. People where they go sell something to. By the way, if they give it to you as Yoruba people, you better have to prove yourself as well. Because I don't understand. Sometimes we just make things difficult to even talk like this. So my fellow me now, but the point I'm trying to make is this: Benin Republic. Are you telling me you can't find a person to actually organize this thing and make it well? You're going to have to look for an Igbo person to give Osun Osogbo festival to manage. Manage what? And he cannot look almost over 70% of the project to his hometown. Killer. And so the way to get the votes that you need is to appeal to non-Yoruba people in Yoruba land. You will fail. Is what we also talk about in Lagos. And it's not big one, no. You want to win in Yoruba land, eh? You want to win. 1 second, please. Excuse me. Thank you very much for staying tuned. You want to win in Yoruba land. You have problems with your own people. So what do? You now begin to. Do you know this was exactly what Afonja did? Afonja needed to win. You see, you could. The thing about history can help you, can guide you. Afonja needed to win for whatever reason, and I'm not saying he was a bad man. It wasn't even a bad man. It was an ambitious man, just like another person, right? He wanted to win. He wanted to defeat, Oyo. So what did he do? Anybody who could fight, particularly the people that we now call Jomo. Fulani outside, everybody. So you're going to use outsiders to defeat your own people, so you can get power. In your head, you don't think that those outsiders also have their own plan? They then came in. Alimi came and changed the game. Baba was left stranded. He was not trying to accept I'm Yoruba. I read the book. Okay, the book we read yesterday. He sent message to all the Yoruba people. They now betrayed him. Betray who? To swell your ranks. So you're powerful. You look behind you. Ọkàn wẹ̀yìn bóyá ọkàn rọ́mọ ogun tó pọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kò sí kankan tó gbédè nínú gbogbo wọn. Wọn ò gbọ́ èdè ẹ̀, wọn ò mọ àṣẹ bọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ogun ẹni. Nínú ọpọlọ tí ẹ dẹ̀ rèé, ìwọ rò pé àwọn yẹn náà ní nǹkan táwọn náà fẹ́ o. Because you think that they are just there to be following you. They don't have their own plans. We are still dealing with that till today. That's Ilorin. Ilorin ni àwa rèé báyìí. It's the same thing people are doing in politics. You want to defeat your opponent in Yoruba land. You don't have any other way to appeal to your own people. You have to go and be saying things like, Yoruba land, or should say it's not just for Yoruba people. There are other tribes here. Any Igbo people, they here. Those ones to now get there. They begin to make demands. They may not even really vote for you. Well, most likely they vote for this one because they are connected. And that's another funny thing. The nepotism is crazy. Anyway, you get it, they begin to make demands. Say, Ajo nílùú ni. Àbí nǹkan rọ́lù ni gbogbo alájọ nílùú. Ẹ mọ orin tí Làgàtà kọ nínú Ṣàwọ̀rẹ̀dẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ pé wá lálejò mọ́ àwa yín la nílùú. Ibi tó ti ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ rè. Ẹ kọ́ máa kọ́ àwọn àlejò àjọ nílùú ni. Ṣègbà tẹ fẹ́ dìbò ẹ wá bẹ̀ wá ni. Ẹ sọ fún wa pé, and you know the funny thing, it's one thing to ask. There's nothing wrong with asking every ethnicity for vote. I think a person will be dumb to also assume that you can become a president or become anything in Nigeria just as far as politics is concerned. You're going to become the president of Nigeria without vote from other ethnicities. So I can insult everybody and say I'm Yoruba, we win. They are joking. Even in your state, it would be nice to have other ethnicities to vote for you. It's normal. You want to get as many votes as possible. So it's okay to ask. But when you lose every sense of decorum, I begin to sound like this. I'll play you another video. Maybe because I watched this video earlier. Just and it's not about this. It's this boy is young. So what do you think is happening with the next generation of people? The guy's in his 30s. Bro, am I no? Am I the coffee? Ibo day here, Loshun. Nigeria ló gbọ́ àgbàkúgbà ẹ̀ ṣá, but mi ò blame Nigeria, àwa gan mo blame, àwa gan ti á dẹ̀ díẹ̀. So we are one Nigeria. Okay. Ẹgbẹ́ kejì yìí náà kí ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ nǹkan tẹ bá rò sí. Mo ń bọ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ lè.
I do not present these claims as facts, but I appeal to you, sir, to use your influence to promote peace and allow the people of Osun choose their candidates freely.
I wish they stopped there. He will tell you who he's responding to. I wish he stopped there. I would have clapped for him. But let's continue.
We have mutual connections, and I have a deep connection to the Imo State. My wife, Chioma, is from the state, which makes this appeal more sincere. Peacefully to vote. I do not present these claims as facts.
Backstory. Governor Opus Odima, I think, is leading delegation in of APC folks in Osun State, election. Opus Odima is the governor of Imo State. He's in APC. You are with Accord. Now, he is not the president, though. He is not INEC chairman. He has led the governor's delegates to Osun State. Now, you want to talk to the person, you now say that you want there should be free election because power of incumbency, the president is APC, so naturally it makes sense. But then you say there's connection because, see, Yoruba people, I don't care who you are married to, that your bedroom is your problem. Your bedroom is your concern. This thing where bedroom seeps into political conversation, I'm also trying. This is why people tell you not to marry certain people. Or long. It's not. I was having a conversation earlier today. I was like, there's nothing stopping anybody from marrying people from any ethnicity in Nigeria, sincerely. But because my goal is not to offend. My goal is not to offend. It's just that Oroburuku or Otoro, báwo ni Yorùbá ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ tọrọ ẹ̀ náà ní òtọ́rọ̀ ó ti gbàgbé mo sọ lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá mo fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ nǹkan máa rántí ní comment section òtítọ́ korò ayé kò tọ́ òtọ́rọ̀ bàbá àsọkúsọ. God bless you. Thank you Shona Bankwa and Akin. Otoro bí òtọ́rọ̀ ọmọ ìyá àsọkúsọ ni, that's one. Then ayé kún akọ òtọ́ gangan fúnra rẹ̀ cherry x òtọ́rọ̀ fún yín. You can marry from anywhere in the world. If you're a Yoruba person, you're not the first. By the way, all these people are always shouting they are marrying people from outside. You're not the first. Yoruba people have been marrying non-Yoruba people for centuries. I dare say centuries. Okay? And I gave an example yesterday. Alaafin Shango, the mother was Nupe, the father, of course, Yoruba. So the idea that people are marrying other people, making like they are doing something grand, I don't know. Some Nigerians will speak you will now want to toe that line and you begin to sound like a dunce because you're now saying that I'm half Kiniko, half quarter, if you're half Kiniko quarter, talking rubbish. I think you can marry any ethnic group, but any ethnic group where they have issues with Yoruba culture or whatever, or the children grow up and they are confused because they don't know where they belong. I think we should be very careful when they marry people from such places because we have Edo wives now. We even have Northern wives. That's how funny it is. Benjamin Dekunle, his mother is actually from Bachama. She's from the north. Imagine talking to Benjamin Dekunle, Black Scorpion, and ask him, "Are you Yoruba?" Say, "I'm half Yoruba, half Kinikan." Is your Yoruba man whose mother is Bachama, but he's not confused. Some groups in this country, they just confuse their children. The governor of your state, you may have issues with him politically. The mother is Edo. We've had, and that's the funny thing. It's not even new. It's not like we've not had situation where we've had this mixed skinny. Just that Nisin you to have a me. Thank you very much, Prof. Alabi Sama. The father is Ukwani. The mother is the one from Ilorin. For all intents and purposes, he's a Yoruba man. I mean, you can argue Nigeria is the Ogbonkoro and because he was raised. By the way, let me digress a bit. I was talking yesterday about identity and stuff. The baseline for us as Yoruba people is that your identity, your ancestry is determined paternally. Okay? It's paternally. All right? In Ghana, in some, I think it's Akans, their own is maternal. Yesterday I was reading something about Jerry Rawlings. Jerry Rawlings' father was not even Ghanaian, was not even black. And Mama be Ghana. The same thing with Bishop Daggerwood Mills. The father is Swiss, the mother is Ghanaian. Mhm. So the point I'm trying to make before I digress again is ancestry is paternally, right? But if a child is sociologically raised in a particular culture, maybe because the father is not there, or whatever, is that person. So Alabi Osama was raised as a Yoruba man, at least as a Yoruba boy, until, in fact, he did not go to Kwani until the war. He's in his book. That book is the Tragedy of Victory. He didn't go because his father died a long time ago anyway. Raised by the mom as an only son. The mother went with him everywhere, including to the war front, taking pictures all over the place. Interesting. I'm not saying the mother was taking pictures, but put camera and film and things like that. The point I'm trying to make basically is this. We've had different ethnicities who have married into Yoruba culture, and we don't really have issues. But when you raise kids who are like husks, they are I don't want to say something negative. Sure, the point is that be careful who you are marrying, particularly if a Yoruba man. All this confusion that you're raising, what you're talking nonsense, is not good for the culture. I'm holding myself back. Anyway, this one now wants to talk. You're not saying that you have a connection with Imo State because your wife is from Imo. Who cares? So because your wife is it also shows you naivety. So because your wife is from Imo State, the governor of Imo State will now allow you to, free and fair. If you're going to have free and fair, it's based on political ideology, not based on somebody's wife. It's a shame, man. And that's why when we're always thinking about, raise people who have backbones, who are proud of their fathers, proud of their mothers, proud of their wives, but they know exactly who they are. So the issue is, I'm not saying downplay or denigrate people's ethnicities and say, okay, Igbo is like this, Edo is like this, we are the best. That is also childish. You can appreciate other people without having to cut yourself to size. What we do in Yoruba, and we do it a lot, and we have to stop it. You dim your light to make people comfortable around you. What's that? So you have people, for instance, who don't, maybe for some reason they don't have candles yet or whatever. You tend to have, this very shining light, but you're like, so that doesn't look like I'm the only one that's shining here. Let me trim it down. Do you not know that in shining your light, you probably inspire others to begin to shine theirs as well. Maybe they will be able to find their candles eventually or look for flashlight or whatever, and they begin to shine as well. And over time, they will grow. But no, you reduce yourself because of you want to have fragile character in mediocrity. We are all the same. We are not the same. We are not the same. What I really want to say, I'm just trying to not go deep because this thing we do in this country, everybody just say it's not only us. Also, if you want to say something bad about something, it's not only that one. This place is also bad. You're about to. You have to find the quality of stupidity so that you can feel like we're all together. And like I said, for that character and mediocrity, we are all the same. We are not the same. Nobody only pass, but not everybody. We are not the same. When I say, by the way, the reason I say nobody only passes, when you let's say you're talking about kids, one is in primary school, the other is in secondary school, all right, and somebody's having an issue with physics, primary six pupil, or you're an undergraduate, you're having a challenge with a particular course, you're talking to your lecturer, you're trying to learn, you're trying to get tutorials because of that challenge you're having. So that's what I'm saying. Nobody only pass. You're having that challenge. Doesn't mean that you are in SS2 or you're in primary six. In Nigeria, let's tell ourselves the truth. In this country and on this continent, there are cultures that are in nursery two. Some are in primary five. Some are in JS1, SS2. You know, I'm using Nigeria because we're mostly Nigerians here. Some are in the undergraduate. Some are we are different levels. And the better you know that, the more you know, I mean, the earlier you know that, the better. Mama appeal, mama panda around kiri. Meanwhile, election of ṣe gan. Ṣé ká gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan díẹ̀ díẹ̀ nípa nǹkan táwọn tán fẹ́ ṣe election ṣe. But that the video actually pained me. And it pained me because he's a young man. There's no way a young man is talking like this. But the reason he's talking like this is because I don't like blaming the older generation. I don't like it because it just makes you feel better than others. Doesn't mean that you're doing anything better. But we can learn from their mistakes. They've done well. And his father, by the way, let me just make that very clear. He's done well. I mean, you see him, the way they greet each other, the way he greets his folks, he prostrates as a Yoruba man. So it's not like everything about him is, oh, he has been taken over. I mean, there are good things that I notice. But you see, this performative cultural observations or whatever, observances, is different from understanding identity. Hmm? A non-Yoruba man can prostrate. Ìdọ̀bálẹ̀ ò ń ṣe wà. Prostrating does not make you a Yoruba man. I like the fact that they're able to respect. I like when I see the family, Davido, Adeleke, I like what they do. That Yoruba culture, you see it, the way they. I like that way, that one, Sha, that is there. But that's not what makes you a Yoruba man. That's not what makes you can prostrate from that intensity. It doesn't make you a Yoruba man. You have to know who you are, and I hope I'm not talking to him to be honest, because he's not here. I'm talking to us, those of us who like to just say, "Oh, we are all Nigerians." How can a sane person go to Osun State and say, "No, only Yoruba people they here, other tribes are here"? Did we write letter to invite the other people that to come? To even use the word tribes, even very funny. Anyway, let's move away from that. I saw the video after after the session yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, so this is what people were talking about." I didn't even know that it was sent to me. But I hope we do better in our own generation. Also, raise your children better. And if you've married somebody from the southeast, I mean, all the best to you. Marriage on its own is tough. Marriage is marriage. Marriage is not easy. Ọlọ́run ló ràn ọgbà lọ́wọ́. But how do people do it? So the children will be growing up. Someone will now say, I don't want the children to speak Yoruba. Why should they speak? I will see if I can find that video. The one I was talking about the other day. Why should they speak Yoruba? They are my own children too. The child is now torn. Now has divided loyalty. Shall I please my father, who I look up to, or my mother, who takes care of me? The child is now confused. Now he has to choose. Why must the child have to pick? So you have a lot of these confused kids. And they talk to Yoruba kids too, who are trying to act as if they're in America. Oh, then they'll be speaking English to me. I'm like, you don't say you just be talking rubbish. In America, America tell you, just watch one Hollywood movie and we say, China went to China. Anyway, one day I'll find you that video. Let me even see if I can see it right now. Where that girl was saying that, Mbo, I think I'll find it now. I think I'm close. 1 second. Children are now confused. One, they don't know where they belong. Mbo. Lonely at the top. Lonely, lonely, lonely. Ah, because maybe. What did you miss? My friend lodge me. I promise. And the funny thing, but let me ask a question while I'm looking for this. Let me just ask everybody in the audience. So you can write in the comment section. I'm going to read your comments. Why is it that of all the ethnicities that people marry into, is only one that tend to converse or advocate the denigration of Yoruba heritage such that the children become confused? That question is a very long question, but why do you think that happens? Because you have Yoruba people married to people from different ethnicities, and you can have banter, or you can have orally, yeah, and things like that. We do that in Yoruba land, you know. But why is it that only one group tends to say, oh, I have an idea what the answer might be, but I don't want to preempt. I don't know why though, because I just to be honest, I think it stems from inferiority complex. Inferiority in video here is somewhere else. I'll find it for you some other time. Anyway, um, let me read some of the comments here before we go on to other things. Thank you very much for your comment, Mr. Nee on Facebook. And thank you, Idris Adigo on YouTube. God bless you very much. On board, Jeff Misha Joko. In battery, I'll just move on to other things. Lonely at the top. No. Just a second, please. Just a moment, I should say. Good. Someone says, have you heard the news in Etiosa? I have heard the news in Etiosa, and I will talk about this in a second. Take a listen to the video I was talking about.
This it's not. No, I don't. Leave me. You are not speaking Igbo. You are speaking Yoruba things. You see, you are not speaking Yoruba.
Are we? Is it this intertribal thing? This is what I don't like.
Don't like it.
Don't like it.
Why now Yoruba they speak? Is this they call it motherland? Motherland. It not be fatherland. Now my language they supposed to speak first.
Tradition of this country, I will come marry Igbo person.
I come. When you people speak Igbo, oh yeah, speak Igbo.
Just tell them Kedu.
Which Kedu?
Just tell them Kedu.
Oh yeah, come and tell me Igbo. Tell mommy Igbo. Mommy is not happy. Tell me Igbo language. Oh yeah, come here. Oh yeah, tell me something.
You must teach us.
Can't you?
You must teach us.
Yes, I've been speaking. I used to speak Igbo in this house now. Otutu Ama by this time. Otutu Ama. Okay.
Good night.
Una. Una.
What's Una?
Father.
Nna. I'm not Nna now.
Alright.
You say make them just say Igbo.
Une.
Nne.
Don't talk.
Make what?
Achievement.
Achibo.
So here's this. By the way, this is nonsense. And don't lie, it's just content. It's not just content. Yobani kama TV shanoki esogun. Kama TV shanoki esogun. When you have a situation where you had the chance to have your kids speak both languages. Children can speak as many languages as possible. They can even speak up to 8 languages if you teach them. But the basis is they cannot do this, they should do this. What are you doing to those kids? That's why you have the one that went to build Igbo language center in Lagos, not to please the mother who did, and he said it in a video that his mother will not allow him to speak Yoruba. If he's speaking Yoruba in the house, the mother will say no. If he speaks Igbo, the father will say no. I said the father is also not serious because now you know waiting enter your head, go marry Igbo woman. The children will speak their mother's language too now. Since you want to marry, yes, the one you wrote in the no, it's yes, it's that person. Don't put Giannis, don't put Avi. You now raise children who are now confused. They don't know. And then you know what she said? Did you hear what she said when she said um mommy is not happy. Speak Igbo. See, you know mothers can be something else. Eh? It's not difficult for a woman to turn your children. I mean, if you have such children, maybe not marry such. Anyway, everybody will be alright. Shall you hear the video now? I'll see if I can find you that clip. Take a listen to this.
Like whenever you go and you meet people in the States and they ask you, you know, where you from, and you tell them Nigeria, it's like, okay, what part? You know, growing up, like, I was in Yoruba. Was my dad was, you know, was proud. It's like, you're from Yoruba. You know, but like, my mom's from Igbo, you know, so, and they always said, like, whenever we talk with a relative on the phone, they used to ask me, like, do you speak Yoruba? Like, no. So why? I said, because my mom speaks Igbo, and whenever I try to learn Yoruba, my mom gets mad, and whenever I try to learn Igbo, my dad gets mad. But my mom, she used to, like, secretly teach us how to count. You know, teach us the ABC, you know, in Igbo, Fuwa, Boa, Hato, you know, like, she definitely tried to teach us a lot of things about where she was from. And
I don't know if you heard what she said. That was Giannis Antetokounmpo, the one who plays in the NBA, plays basketball. Good guy. But you hear what he said? Whenever he goes out, tells people he's Nigerian. They ask him where he's from in Nigeria. You know, he says Yoruba. His dad is proud. They talk about languages. You know, they ask him, "Can you speak the language?" He says no. Tells you when they try to speak Yoruba, the mother gets mad. He tries to speak Igbo, the father gets mad. But somehow he's able to count and also knows ABC Yoruba. And then he goes Otu Abo Ato Ano. He's reading, he's counting the numbers in Igbo language. Thank you very much for the gift, Dan. You see, why would you want your children to be like that? Before we go to other things, somebody mentioned Thajosata. I don't know if you've read the stuff. It's been trending for some days now. Me, I don't blame these people though. Now we. Shame on the film, Aisha. I won't say anything. Let me just show you. When you see it, you will know it when you see it. Just look at this board and just try and look at it, and then you make up what you think the problem is. So that's Federal College of Agriculture, Isiagu, Oluwalokeyan. Let me just read to you. Federal College of Isiagu project provision and installation of solar street lights across Etiosa Federal Constituency. Facilitator, Honorable Ata Thaddeus Achif. Contractor, Okeatu Global Limited. Provision and installation of solar street lights across Etiosa Federal Constituency. People they do the project now, Federal College of Agriculture, Isiagu. Thank you, Titan. Who is the facilitator? He is the member of the House of Representatives in Etiosa Federal Constituency, Thaddeus Ata. And the contractor is Okeatu Global Limited. Now, people have. I'm going to read. There's another one. No, there's another one. There's another one. Just let's stay with that one first. So a person, this one is not even from the southeast, but it's also pandering to the southeast, and it's not once. So OJ, I'll read you the second one later. A person, was able to get in again because your people were being stupid. You are angry with Tinubu. You are angry with APC. And I said, who can I give it to? Let me look for somebody who doesn't even believe in whatever I believe in. I just give it to him so that at least I can feel like I've showed them pepper. I've showed you Bible pepper. I've showed other Bible pepper. You are cutting your nose to spite your face. That one now became member of member House of Representatives. Wants to install street lights in Etiosa federal constituency. Korean kankan leko. He now goes to Ishagu to Federal University of Agriculture. Federal College of Agriculture. Àwọn ẹ̀ ló máa bá install the street lights lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Tí ìbá mo bá yẹn sọ ẹjọ́ ẹ ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún mi o. Someone said it displayed Banky W. Yes, now. People around Banky W were even supporting Peter Obi now. I think Banky was in PDP. That was the first one. So, street lights in Etiosa, they had to go to the southeast to get Okeato globally. If you tell me that it's one Nigeria, and although we saw Bella, what I want to say is actually worse, but don't say it. I'll show you another one, or I'll tell you, because if I show you, you may not see it. Project construction of road across Etiosa. No, let me show you. You will see it. I'll zoom in, because then I'll read it later. Maybe I don't understand the billboard, so you can explain it to me. Like I'm 5 years old. See this one. You see up is Enugu State again, have you? Federal Cooperative College, Oji River, Enugu State. Project construction is that's a client. Project construction of road across Etiosa Federal Constituency in Lagos State. Contractor, Ideas Construction Limited, Abuja. Sponsor, Honorable Archief Thaddeus Atta. When they tell you that you vote for your own people and you come and be shouting one Nigeria, this is how you know that you are stupid. Anybody who says that you are stupid, I don't care. Oh, we're one Nigeria. You're a bigot. You're a fool. Because how exactly is it that the jobs that should be going to your people are going to the southeast? Because you want to prove that you are the sacrificial lamb for the execution of that idea of one Nigeria. Now I know Yoruba land be laboratory. How would you get an opportunity to lead? I don't even blame him. Who cares? I don't even blame him. Let's keep opening the doors. We know we are one Nigeria. Open the door, allow people that are having conversations about fellow Igbos not being able to take over. I'll find you another video when that guy said that this one was even raised in their own place, but she's one of their ethnic group, but she's not from their area. They don't allow her. You will open your doors to everybody. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. At least you should know the people you are voting for. They should have your interest at heart. They should want to better the lot of your... No, they will go and be looking for people that will do the job from outside, and that should be the southeast. Continue, I don't like our foolish tongue, but it's getting worrisome. It's getting worrisome, and it's not right. So it's been trending for a bit. One client is Enugu State, the other one is Ishiagu, and all the construction is also to take place in Etiosa Federal Constituency. You know the crazy part? This is the saddest thing in all of these things, is that this project, to ṣe tán lọ gbé fún yàn kan ní Ishiagu àbí wọn àwọn tán bá káàkiri, tẹ́ kán gbé fún yàn kan ní Enugu State. People went on site. Nothing is being done. Nothing is. I can't be. I don't want to get TikTok issues. The street lights are just there. Nothing is installed. This is the same materials that they're shouting. Are there Yoruba people that can mess you up like this? Yes. Are you telling me that everybody that does work a contracting job, if you're a contractor and you're a Yoruba person, they will do the right things? No, they will do the wrong thing. They might do the wrong thing. And it's possible you find bad people or good people anywhere. I know the nonsense that people will say, but you have good people and bad people everywhere. The problem is that once you have this culture of pandering to a particular group, it means you have lost your ability to reason. That's the point. And if you ever have any opportunity to if you have anything to say in the comment section, please don't mention unity. This is not unity. This is stupidity. You want to project, you go give somebody who come from outside the place. The work they no go down. You go the panda all over the place. You shout to say, you go get Banky W. Your own person wanted to contest. If you are from Ethiopia, may God forgive you. Between one Nigeria there, eh? I believe in one Nigeria. Let me just make that very clear. I believe in one Nigeria. But this is not how to have one Nigeria. You don't have one Nigeria by destroying your space, in order to make other people feel like you are welcoming. You are welcoming enough. Meanwhile, let's go to, while talking about this, let's go back to Osun State. But before I play you something from the governor of Osun State, Davido put something out earlier. I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know what's happening. Oh boy. Mbo. Osun, kò sígbà tá à ní wà nǹkan ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun yìí o Ọlọ́run torí ijó nìkan mo máa ń rí ọ̀wẹ́ ẹ̀yà máa ń jó ṣá wọ́n máa ń jó gan. Davido put out a message earlier today. I want to read the full stuff, the full. It's essentially calling the attention of the President of the United States to the election of Osun State. Someone says Osun people too are already shouting Mole. See, I don't have anything against him, but I'll tell you about it later. I saw a pie chart of the projects going on in Osun State, and I was disappointed. But let me read something from Davido very quickly. This was earlier today. A call for attention to President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump, I am calling your attention to the situation in Osun State, Nigeria, as we approach the election. This is a Nigerian. Are young people, are we really better than the older ones? In your 30s, 40s, 50s, are we really better than the folks in their 70s? Are we really better? Are we really better than them? President Donald Trump, I am calling your attention to the situation in Osun State, Nigeria, as we approach the election. There are growing concerns about tension and possibility of violence, intimidation, or disruption of the democratic process. Osun people deserve to exercise their constitutional right to vote freely, peacefully, and without fear. I appeal to the United States and the international community to pay close attention to the election and encourage all relevant authorities to ensure that every voter is protected and every vote is respected. We do not want bloodshed. We do not want intimidation. We want peace, transparency, and a fair election. Did I not block this notification full? Who goes everywhere telling people to end the live? Notification, you're a fool. So, we want to have election, we call US. We want to use the bathroom, we call US. we have some issues with whatever we call US. Number one, let's even move away from the fact that the someone who wrote it the English for him. The way you even see the thing is let's try it better. But let's move away from that very quickly. So you do all these things and you call the United States, and then you want to have conversations, and you tell them that you're at the same level. I'll tell you one. I'll tell you something I saw last week. Tell me if I'm wrong, please, Mr. Balabolton. Good to see you, sir. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. So this young lady made a video, and she was like, "There are 54 countries in Africa, and not one is on the Security Council, and we need to have representation. The entire continent doesn't have any say in what happens in the United Nations, unless, of course, it comes to the General Assembly." She just went on. I mean, I thought she was just joking. As far as I'm concerned, that's a joke. If you are here and you don't agree with me, it's okay. But you're not going to have any seats in the Security Council if you're acting like this. Do you see Russia call US to come and help them with the elections? You collect aid from them. Any small thing you are talking about them, you are asking them to come and help you. You are acting like badly behaved children, even though you are big nations, not able to think for yourself, still acting as if you have been colonized, and you are asking for seats in the Security Council. Are we joking? You're the one that's looking for reparations. You're the one that's calling them they are bad because they colonized you. You're the one that's not stopped crying after all these years of independence, and you want to have a seat at the Security Council. For what? I want to even go into something totally different from this option for a very short bit. Who will give you that seat? You cannot talk anything in international politics without talking about slavery, about transatlantic thing, as if I want trans-Saharan Guinea. You are talking from a place of weakness. You're always begging for things, but you want a seat in the Security Council. We are joking as a people. We are not serious. Have you ever seen Chinese people looking for Japan to come and tell them sorry? Japan colonized China, you know, Abby. They are both on China is on the Security Council today. You see, once you assume that role of a victim, nobody takes you seriously. That's why some people can never become president in Nigeria. It's the same thing. Oh, see what you are doing. We're having election. Come on, election of your state. You're calling Trump, and you think they're going to take us seriously in the world? We are just clowns at this point. If we don't, unless we fix up, we don't have to remain clowns. I'm not one of the clowns, just to be clear. But at this point, we might as well just call all of us. We'll be better in Jesus' name, because I don't like saying negative things. That's how one person was also asking the United Nations to come and investigate closing pay. What's the word I'm looking for? Come and investigate kidnapped children. We're always looking outside for help, but you want those people to respect you. Yes, thank you, your Miri abduction. Small time now, you said that you are traveling to their country, they are searching you. Why would they search you now? You're a beggar. And this is a funny thing. It doesn't matter how much you have in your pocket. All this I have money will not mean anything. As long as you're from that place, they just take the eye, look everybody, say all of us, that level. Mr. Dungu says Trump has his hands full trying to rig the Mr. Dungu says Trump has his hands full trying to rig the midterm elections in November using federal might. Even if not they rig, Trump will leave US matter. For me, I'm not even. You see, you talk to your friends or folks who have lighter shades in terms of their skin color, and after a while, I begin to understand why they now see my fellow Africans say, yes, that one his eyes has opened. Me, I don't like white guilt. Not the white guilt. White guilt is just nonsense. The day they are tired of that thing, they will flip so hard, they'll be worse than KKK. Anyway, we are going different all over. We're going to different kidney. All I'm just saying is that if you want to be taken seriously, stop asking for any small thing. Help us, any small thing. US, they won't take us seriously. Oh. What I just said right now, I'm going to have a full session on it. Why I don't believe in all this slavery. Let us fight for Kinecon from America. Let Europe apologize. All those things, I don't believe in it one bit. Let them come and apologize to us because they took us as slaves and I mean, you can ask for that if that's what you want, but I'm going to tell you, as long as they give that to you, they will never see you as equal. Never. They always look down on you. Okay, he's crying now. What can we give this person to pacify? Let's just do this one now. They give you 8. You two cheer. Then I'll be shouting, "Our Europe underdeveloped Africa." Someone says, "If we conquered, I won't apologize." Should we talk about this thing right now, senior man Jeje? Senior man Jeje, let me ask a question to Yoruba people. In the comment section, please tell me if you are proud. Are you proud of Oyo? Or you are laughing, Jopa Shekere Omo Atiba? Are you proud of Oyo? I am proud of Oyo, by the way. So my answer is yes. Let me just tell you my answer first. Are you proud of Oyo? People are saying yes. I hope you know that Oyo actually colonized some people. If I also colonize some people, I want to start with Oyo because Oyo is more recent. You know we colonize people. If you colonize people, Oyo colonize people. You know, Abi? Just remember that. Whenever you are thinking of all this funny apology, if you are talking from a place of a conquered person, a conquered man, you'll be looking for all these things all over the place. It's a slave mindset. Have you ever heard the English ask Italians for apology? They were subjugated for 400 years. 1, 2, 3, 10, 100, 200, 400 years they were subjugated. Do you see them begging and asking for things? Someone says, but we're human to our slaves. They were slaves nonetheless. That's semantics. There's a time to discuss if if you take a slave, I say that after all I was human to you. So that is that his person was a slave. That was still a slave now. You conquered people. They are jealous. The way they govern, were they so cool people all over the empire? Look at the other ones, around military around the other group. Ajele had like the governors. Àwọn tó máa ń gba tax kiri kí ló máa ń kó wọn náà. Mr. Remi, you are saying you didn't castrate them, but you still didn't give them freedom. See, come ça. It's not here, not there. Kí ló máa ń porúkọ àwọn people náà? Oh, ẹ ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ kíní yẹn. Mo ti gbàgbé sí. Oga, black slavery was unique. It doesn't matter. It was slavery. Ilari. Someone say Ilaro. Ilari. Thank you, honesty please. Ilari. When they went to I mean, you don't understand this thing. Nobody cares about the details as long as they were subjugated. The question was they subjugated? How you did it is not even the question. The point is that you subjugated them. What you are doing right now, imagine a white man also comes and says, we didn't do like they did to them in Arab. So in the Arab world. So why are they angry with us? What would you say? See, this conversation is actually a very deep conversation. We're going to talk about it one day. Me, I don't want any apology from anybody. Mr. Emi, it doesn't matter. You're not the one that will tell me that slaves can become kings in Yoruba. I've taught it before. I know it. We have upper social mobility, all those things. We can discuss it. That's a different topic. But the point is that we had slaves in Yoruba land. Right? And we conquered territories. And we are happy and proud that we had empires. Empires are not built on inshallah vibes and inshallah. To have empire might takes, you're going to subjugate some people. Let's be serious. If you are going to subjugate people if you're going to have an empire. And it's the way of the world. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's the way of the world. I mean, we're all speaking English now, so things are different. Banks is saying, be Eruba Joba. Would you like to be an Eru? That's the question. See, you have to understand context and the place and time. There's a time to talk about, oh, what's the word now? And I even had the conversation earlier today that we have upward social mobility in Yoruba land. A slave could become a king. And all those things are true. If you were a slave, your generations could, I mean, it could change over time. In fact, you could have kids who can become freeborns. Like we've talked about it. In fact, in Ìbàdàn, ìkànnù àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa sọ nínú oríkì Ìbàdàn ni pé Ìbàdàn mẹ́rú, ẹrú ẹ̀ mẹ́rú. In other words, the ẹrú of Ìbàdàn is so powerful to the point that òun go fúnra ẹ̀ tún lè ní ẹrú. No question about that. But that's not the point. The point is that we built empires. To build empires, you're going to have to colonize people. And we did. We did. Within Nigeria and abroad. Home and abroad. We were just colonized. We did. If you are proud of it, you are proud of Oyo, it's the reality. That's why I don't like it when Nigerians, Africans, and you were infected by African Americans. Oh, they will build this place. They should come and apologize to us. As long as you say that, they will never see you as equals. That's the point. Imagine England and Italy sitting at the table. I say, okay, see how 400 years that you took us as king. What will you do? What will you do to take? No, they also became so powerful that Italy doesn't even come anywhere close to England. It's the way of the. I'm just saying that we sound weak. Because if we are not weak, how can a person be telling people that US Donald Trump should come and help with Osun state election because there'll be violence? People's minds are colonized. Yomi says when slavery was in vogue, yes. Which is why my conversation about slavery is totally different from what people like, and it's okay. So slavery, Oyinbo came and slavery. Oyinbo did not bring slavery to you. You'll be slaving yourself all by yourself. It's a human phenomenon, and it happened all over the world. Does it make it right? No. Crazy part, and unpopular opinion, is the same Oyinbo that ever ended the slavery thing in the first place. You may not like it, but it's the truth. The abolition of slavery did not come from any other group, but the same Igbo people. You can say, hey, it's because of economic. Okay. How come they're still doing it in Saudi Arabia and in Libya? Nobody is batting an eye. Mr. Remi, see, that thing you said, Ultima Soro, you know, we have this story. Sorry, guys, we are all over the place. Don't worry. It's a fun day. You know, we have this story. Let me even tell you. I'll just say it. Masole Refe, after the Ogiso era, and then they now sent a message to Ife that Ife should send somebody to come and rule them, and we all now send somebody. You really believe that story? That's the official story. Romeo was a conqueror. It didn't go there to be saying Romeo was by the way, the first person that started the Ogiso dynasty in Benin. There was no Benin there himself. It was Igodo Migodo. It was even named for him. The man's name is Igodo. They call him Igodo, or Bagodo, or Banigodo. The Orukometa. He was an Ife man. It was the very first Ogiso. Read Bondarenko's work. Read Egaeva's work. Bondarenko's work is ancient Benin kings, where they come from. Egaeva is a short history of Benin, and H.F. Marshall's work, Intelligence Report on Benin. Obagodo, who went to establish the Ogiso dynasty, is a Yoruba man. The very first three Ogisos were Yoruba. It was Obangodo, there was Ere, and there was Orire. And if you look through the list, you find some names that still sound Yoruba concept. The books are here, it's just that it's not today's topic. They now hear that after the reign of Diogesos, there was an interregnum, and then you had Avian. I know we are off topic, but please stay with me. You had Avian, who then conquered, and then, sorry, who then killed a beast, and then they made him an administrator. And then afterwards, some of the kings now wanted, somebody from Ife to come back. They now sent a message. They went and sent a message. They now sent first person. Sorry, they now sent Oromion, and Oromion now conquered. Praise the Lord. That's not the story. That's not the. I mean, that's the official. That's the story for everybody. The other backstory is that when the first set of people went there after Evian took over, in order to reestablish the dynasty, the first groups that went, Evian killed them. He killed them at the river. Number one, number two. Number three was Oromion. Oromion did not go there and say, okay, we want to go. And it was a war. Because, I mean, I'm proud of Oromion, right? We celebrate him. He was a warrior. He was a warrior king. He didn't go there to be saying, Tokini Tokeji Tagba, come on, Matayo. On Jagunio. The point I'm trying to make is this. If we want to be taken seriously in the world, we cannot be weak. We cannot be victims. We can't. We have to understand how life works and talk. And I'm saying all of this thing because of that Davido thing. You are asking the president of the United States to come and help your election. You're already telling us that you are below, you are beneath. It doesn't matter whether you have $1 billion or trillion like Elon Musk. You are beneath them. Therefore, when you have political conversations, when you go to United Nations, our generation is going to get there very soon. You'll be the ones representing Nigeria or Africa. You now get there, you're asking for things. They look at you. They can't really say any. I was giving an example to my brother some days ago. African Union took a gift from China. It's the worst gift that I've ever seen in my life that a continent will take in the history of the world. A continent collects a building from a country as gift. And that building is supposed to be your secretariat, AU. And we're supposed to be taken seriously in the world. When you're shouting for Africa, it's not about Pan-Africanism. Let's use our brain. China gave you a building as a continent, and that building will be your secretariat. A few years down the line, they then found out that it was bugged. They were not complaining. I said, why would you complain? It's a Trojan horse. Would they give you that gift because they like you? So they bugged it. Sorry, oh, the Chinese bugged it. Why wouldn't they bug it? So they gave it to you so I can feel like they love you. They bugged the hell out of that building. Why would you take that gift? That's the question. And you have elders or diplomats, leaders, one Africa, collecting building from a country and not expecting that country will also have something they want. This is not Empire State Building. This is not what's that thing that you see in New York that France gave the United States? That one that was started like this, the holding Touch of Liberty. This is not Touch of Liberty. An entire building. We are not serious. I'll be shouting Pan-Africanism all over the place. They say they should treat us. We are also humans. Once you tell Oyibo that you are also human, he knows that he's higher than you. Think it's not the same thing you see in Nigerian politics. Thank you very much, Mr. Remy. Statue of Liberty. Prof says Joe Biden summoned African presidents and refused to give an agenda. All of them showed up. You showed up. I say, why are we not on the seat in the Security Council? 54 countries of a continent. Nobody's there. There's Russia. There's the United States. There's China. They said you should come. You two went. I'm just saying, I mean, it's not today's topic, but hopefully he also sparks something because this is how it starts. A young person is calling US to come and help them with Osun. Very soon, we'll call Trump to come and help us with local government elections because it will show that we have connections as per, OBO. Anyway, we need to shall learn. I'm sorry, we shall need to, I don't know, get serious. I hope with these 2 points of mine, I've been able to convince you. We should not be going to the world, particularly if you have conversations, and it gets more serious when you have conversations with folks from different continents. and you want to talk about the greatness of Africa, and all you are doing is talking about we used to be, we was kings and queens. You're talking about Sphinx. You're talking about I'm proud of the Sphinx. I'm proud of the pyramids. I'm proud of my heritage as a Yoruba and I'm proud of Ife history and everything. But today, how do you comport yourself when you're talking to them? How do you have conversations? At what level do they see you? Do they see you as equals or just somebody who is begging for crumbs? BT Johnson, no, I don't think China gave ECOWAS the headquarters. But that AU thing would never not be funny to me. A whole continent collected a building and then complained later that the building was bugged. Collected a building from a country and then I said the building was bugged. They will hear everything you are discussing in that building. They must hear. Do I? And someone says, but it's wrong. Says who? You know, but ideally, ethically, be speaking English. When we are ready, we'll become stronger as a people. Until then, I mean, we have to start it with Nigeria. We have to start it with Nigeria on this continent. And the first Nigeria needs to do, and I think President Tinubu is working towards that somehow. We have to first deconstruct the country. Mr. Yemi, I've seen Prof. I've seen India Africa Summit, China Africa Summit. Every time I see it, it breaks my heart. And these things, you just be like, it doesn't really matter. It does. One country is summoning a continent. India Africa Summit, say we're all 1 billion people. And so, it's a country. China will say China African relationship. Like, US African relationship. Those things, I don't know how it makes you feel. Sorry, I'm off the topic, but does it make you feel somehow? US Africa. They're saying Nigeria Europe. Have you heard anything like that before? Nigeria Asia Conference. Is Nigeria Singapore, Nigeria China. Singapore can call the entire continent of Africa. They will show up. Singapore, the size of Shotobadan, they will Ibadan. That's disrespectful to the land of my birth. Mélòó wo Singapore? Wọ́n lè pe gbogbo Africa máa show up fún meeting. UAE African Summit. What's wrong? We'll not be asking for respect. How would they respect us? And we'll match there. Why? Because we're looking for FDI. FDI is good, but Dangote Refinery, that's how FDI should move. There's a lot of foreign money in Dangote Refinery, but that's not because some government, I want to have African Clinical Summit. How many summits that we've been having gave us refineries? Just promises. Even if he gives you money and they even give you all the promises, they fulfill all the promises, what do you think that does to the mind of the young people? The entire continent is summoned by one country and we are having a summit. One leader of a country has 54 leaders sitting down and we're all smiling. See, we are doing summit. They will now come and be shouting, Pan-African, we are all one. We are not serious. Anyway, we have gone off topic, but I hope people are writing all things in the comments. Turkey Africa Summit. Anybody can call Africa to a summit now. Even Syria, if they want, can have Syria Africa Summit. We'll show up. We'll show up now. Apiola Iwola on Facebook says, do Nigerians know what is happening here in US politics? Some of these situations wouldn't even occur in Nigeria. From involving his sons in government to appointing Kushner's dads to ambassadorships. If this were happening in Nigeria, we would be calling for UN interventions. I want to clap for that gentleman. BT Johnson says, Busui African Summit. We need to sit down. We need to have a conference, an internal conference with our Arua and Odofin. Arua Odofin Noah. Thank you very much, Abiola Iwola. Think about it. If what US did sorry, what Trump did in the US. Kushner was ambassador at it. I mean, was working directly with him. Was the one brokering peace talks, deals, and so on and so forth in the Middle East at the time. That was his son-in-law. Imagine Tinubu appoints the husband to Yaloja. What do you think we'll be saying in Nigeria? UN must intervene. Then he appointed his in-law. His in-law as an ambassador. Did you hear Americans say, UN, come and help us? We are not serious. And it's not, it's a mind thing. It's a mind. This is why I talk more about Yoruba, Yoruba, Yoruba. The reason is that if you begin to understand the fact that, number one, Nigeria itself is not a nation like that. If you're really thinking about it, but you can leverage on Nigeria. Nigeria is a country of many nations, and each nation should understand their worth. If you do, and you think of the worth of every other nation in Nigeria, then you see how big, how, when I say big, not just by size, the quality, the strength that we possess as Nigeria. But we don't even know what we possess as Africa. We're just shouting unity all over the place. That's why I don't believe in all these unity talks. Pan Africanism that doesn't make sense. You just have land. Any one person can call. Bill Gates can call Africa Summit. We will show up, smiling from here to here, wearing suit. It will be better in our generation, but we have to. Sorry, who brought this clown here? Call himself "Wake Up Africa." You are asleep. You are not asleep. You are dead. It's only God. The miracle that Jesus performed on Lazarus is the only thing that can bring this fool back to life. Your parents are the ones you are talking to. Egberi. People like sweet sounding nonsense. We are one. We are one. Every continent in the world, they are building stuff. Our own project in life is to be united. Does this thing, do you think about this thing sometimes? People are researching, companies are building stuff, people are coming up with things. Our own project is unity. You know what Oyinbos did to you? What the colonizers did? They just gave you one job and they left you alone. A job you can never do, you will never be able to accomplish because he himself cannot accomplish it. He couldn't even accomplish 1648 Westphalia Treaty. You can Google it. Westphalia Treaty. They decided to demarcate themselves, and that was when the concept of nations and sovereignty, that was when it started. And it's so funny that even small spaces were divided because one is Catholic, the other one is Lutheran, aka Protestant. Based on religion, they demarcated stuff. And it's okay, this is going to be a country, this one is another country. You have these different countries emerging in 1648. We were in 2026, we are looking for unity. The people that told you that you are together, they don't even care about those people like that too. It is us that will talk about the fact that we're looking for unity. We must be one and speak one language. One class should be speaking Swahili. Àtọ̀wọ̀n Swahili inú gbóòórùn mọ́lẹ̀. Kí ló kàn mí àti Swahili? Mi ti gbọ́ yóò bá ọ̀ngàn débi dójú àmì. We should speak one language, one Africa. You did not even you were not even one. I know we are off topic, but please let's stay on this for a bit because we need to talk on this. And when the time comes, I'll bring people up. It's more important than the news, to be honest. It's about identity. It's about how we move in the world, particularly if you're living abroad, even if you're at home, God save. So, and this is where you begin to note that we have problem. We have 54 countries, 54 countries. Shout out to Comfort. I input bar and co inside my mouth when I was serving. Shout out to Northern folks. So we have 54 countries on the continent. In reality, we should not have anything. If we want to do countries like the EU, like Europe, we cannot have anything less than 100 or at least 100 countries on this continent. We can't. Before Oyinbo came, were we not kingdoms ethnic groups, languages all over the continent where we want. All this Akebulan rubbish that people are carrying all over the place saying they're looking for African unity. Akebulan. It's not even your language. It's a foreign language. The word Africa to is foreign. It's Greek. They brought together of the 54 countries that make up the continent, not one of us decided our boundaries. I know I've said it before. It bears repeating. Not one of the 54 countries said this is the extent of our country. This is from here to here, boundary, boundary, boundary. Not one. But we're the one looking for unity. Is that not madness? The person who came, small group of people, put you together. Back home, is very clear about structures. He's very clear about demarcations. But here, he caught you, bundles you together in Berlin. Thank you, Lagos, Lagos. He bundles you together. So he does something very crazy. He will take one group that is actually one, divide that group, take another group that is one, divide that group, take a third of this, half of this, eighth of this, join them together and call them one country. Those ones will now spend the next 100 years looking for unity. Their brothers will be with another group looking for unity for 100 years. Am I saying 100 years? 200 years? No, 96 like by independence. They will now spend the next century looking for unity. He is going back home to chill and say, I'm English. Forget British. I'm English. I'm Scottish. I'm Welsh. When they go out, I'm British. All those Oyinbo they'll be saying outside. Home, they know exactly how to do all these things. Then in EU, I'm British. They're able to tell themselves who they are. But you're African. You're Nigerian. We change the world. We are one. The project is a stupid project. It will never succeed. I'm a Yoruba man. They put some of my people in Togo, some in Benin Republic, some are still in Ghana. They left the rest of us in Nigeria. They now joined us to other people that have nothing to do with us. They said, now you are one country. Now fight for the unity and peace, faith and progress. That's our motto. That's our life work. These things, I think about it sometimes, just makes me sad. But we can't just be sad. We have to do something about it. Number one, I'm not saying that we should destroy the borders because that's another crisis you're looking for. I'm not saying you should break all the countries. That's another crisis you're looking for. I'm saying within this is the reality now. We are Nigeria. Okay? But what will not change is that we will never not be different. Right? Even if you stay together for 1 billion years, you will still be different. The English, longer than Nigeria has existed, they are still different people. So all this nonsense about one day we unite and become, together is rubbish. We will never be one nation. It will not happen. Because for it to happen, some people will have to die. Some cultures will be absorbed. There will be ethnicides. There will be some languages will die. People should know what they are looking for. That's what you can do. Or you can become like China. You conquer many groups and then you adopt them and you what's the word? Absorb them. Then you come up with un-Chinese identity. Maybe if we do that, but I don't think we should because it's violent. Anyway, all this to say that we should be proud of our ethnic identity. And if you're proud of your ethnic nationality and you contribute your quota, at least what we call Nigeria can then have that pride of place, in the Committee of Nations. And then when we want to talk outside, we will have mouth. We'll not be talking like dons asking Trump to come and help us with local government elections because we are helpless and it sounds like we are useless. I'm not useless. You're not useless in Jesus' name. But it sounds like we are useless when people say these things. Let's just move away. It is well with Africa. It is well with Nigeria. We've got to change the structure. This is not how to build countries. No country, not one country in this world. If I'm wrong, tell me. Not one country in this world has succeeded with this kind of structure that we have in this country. Not one. Not one. Not one. I said it. Tell me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, tell me the country that succeeded with this structure. It's not a world power. Anyway, I hope that helps us. Don't be. Nobody's better than you. White, green, yellow, blue, black. We're all human beings. But as long as you're looking for apologies all over the place, they will not respect you. Let's go back to Osun State. Thank you very much for listening to that very long commentary. I'll bring people up in a bit. Someone says no country they complex like Nigeria. That's why when politicians tell you that when we become president, we'll change everything. Nigeria is not rocket science. Any politician who uses that phrase, Nigeria is not rocket science, is a clown. You should not be trusted with power. It should be chased far away from Aso Rock. Nigeria is more complex than rocket science. Nigeria, anyway. Aroke says run, no, they should run. Someone says the amalgamation of Northern and Southern protectorates was from 100 years, sir. It's not true. That was the rhetoric that people that were trying to break up Nigeria a few years ago came up with. There's no document in this world that says that Nigeria will exist for only 100 years. It's not true. What they are doing is they are transposing an idea, and then so they can have what they call force majeure, and say because in contract, Kiniko can last for 100 years, therefore, it's in this, the contractual agreement is supposed to last for 100 years, because that's what happens in contract. Therefore, Nigeria is supposed to also be around for 100 years. And because the amalgamation happened in 1914, in 2014, Nigeria ceased to exist. Foul. Is a lie. Nigeria will exist as long as people leave it to exist. There is no contract that says Nigeria will stop existing after 100 years. No such contract. One can turn around. They used to have meetings. I used to people say things that make people happy and say, oh, we're going to change Nigeria. It's not like that, though. Better get involved in politics. Mr. Yomi, this Yomi person knows exactly what I was saying, what I was talking about. Force majeure. The person is a lawyer. Say, I'm going to have this Southern Kinikon versus Kinikon because you're going to break the Southern Kinikon. Let me tell you something. If you see anybody tell you that you are South, when they want to fight the North, we are all South. When they want to fight you, they go back to their region. When we want to fight within the region, they go back to the ethnic group. Ojuku did it. The first majority they're shouting is also the same thing. And how do I know? I put something out on Facebook one day. The same person commented, and I was like, I've discovered you now. Is a lie on Togboani. Ojuku originally said it was about when the whole thing started, when they were about to start the whole oh boy, this topic is today's session is just something else. But I hope you're having fun. When they went to start the secession thing in 67, Ojuku, what did Ojuku use to woo people like Victor Banjo? South. The South against Fulani hegemony, the Northern hegemony. Southern people must know. Look at the letter I wrote to Banjo now. I think I've read it here before. If you read the letter, oh, the South will break up, and then they'll come and liberate Yoruba people and all those things. We are all one and okay. When Yoruba people moved in August, Papa gave a speech August 67. By the way, Yoruba people did not really get invested in the war until August of 1967. The war, that's late of 18th August, thereabout. Towards the end of August, right? The war started July 6. Yoruba people did not get involved until late August. And the reason, two reasons. Number one, the fact that these Biafra people invaded the Midwest. I know we have gone from Europe to Biafra, just stay with me. The Biafra people invaded the Midwest, and then they sent a letter to Yoruba leaders. This man, Victor Banjo, has sent a letter to Yoruba leaders in June. I'm closing my eyes to remember the details. He has sent a letter to Yoruba leaders in June through Wole Soyinka, who had visited Enugu in June of 67. Then August of 67 was when he wrote the letter to Victor Banjo. Victor Banjo then got across to them again to Yoruba leaders. Then Papa now had a meeting in Ibadan to discuss the idea of Biafra's coming to liberate Yoruba land. And Papa said something very, very fundamental. He said, and I'll paraphrase. Number one, we are not under anybody's bondage or yoke. We do not need anybody to deliver us from any Fulani chokehold or stranglehold. Number two, even if we were in bondage to Fulani people, we can atojara wa gbe. So number one, we are not under the we're not in bondage to Fulani people. Number two, even if we were, it's not you that will come and deliver us now. Moses, deliver us, Prince of Egypt. It's a lie. We know. The point I'm trying to make is that when Ojukwu was writing all those letters up until August of 67, the language was about the South. By the way, that was when he was talking to us. When they were having meeting at Eastern Consultative Assembly, the conversation was about the East. Read Sunset in Biafra, Elechi Amadi, and Ken Sariwa's book on a darkling plain. Eastern Consultative Assembly. Turns out that the assembly concept was you handpicked the people there, and the people that they were yes men. So to them it is East. To us it is South. When everything began to change, it went from East Igon to Igbos versus the rest of the world. The rest of the Eastern region, then the rest of the country. So if they want you to fight Nigeria, we are all in the South. That's why I don't believe in all this Southern Nigeria. In terms of administrative unit, it ceased to exist in 1939. Nobody should come and tell me that we are from the South. Just do you. When they are done with the Southern thing, they're using South, and that's why if you read the book by H.M. Green, the speech by Anthony Naro, I like that speech. I think everybody should read that speech. I wish there was a way I could extract that speech and get it for everybody to read. You need to read that speech. He said, captured documents, I'm quoting him now, captured documents from Biafra reveal that the plan Ojukwu had was to take the entire southern Nigeria and in later time take the north. The point I'm trying to make essentially is that all this 2014 100 years thing is a product of a people who, to be honest, want something different in Nigeria. I don't fault that. The system does not encourage growth, so I get it. But you don't change it by lying. You don't change it with conjectures, with atamo, transposing ideas. If this one is 100 years, this one is also 100 years. Therefore, we're going to have force majeure and get the government to change. We're not going to have election. They said they're going to boycott election, the last one, 2023 election, Abi? Yeah. That was how they said it in 1965. They're going to boycott election. That thing affected us in Yoruba land. We got into all of this because we're discussing 1940 to 2014, 100-year pact. There's no 100-year treaty anywhere. And other Nigerians decide to sit down and say, everybody, let's sit down. How do we want to structure this country? And I'm saying this because it may not happen today. It may happen under 2 years. It could be 5 years. It could be 10 years. But one day, we're going to have that conversation. And when that conversation happens, you just might be the only person. Will be 1,000 people here right now. You may just be the only person who would be there to speak on behalf of the rest of us. Just know what to say. All this idea that we're just one is a lie. And all this will break up after 100 years. That one's also a lie. So you have to find that middle ground where there's nothing, listen, wonderful session today. There's nothing wrong with everybody going their separate ways. Okay? People that will suffer. People that will succeed. It's a way of life. Russia broke. Any country can break. Okay, so there is no. But Nigeria can work. It just cannot work this way. Nigeria does not have to break in order to work. But it cannot work like this. The way it will work is going to sound counterintuitive, but it's the only way nations grow. Any other thing is just campaign before, we campaign after election. All this, that's why Peter Obi goes everywhere shouting he's going to unite the country. Unity is a nonsensical statement when it comes to manifesto. If that's the only thing I always shout about unity, leave unity alone. I'm not saying we should not be united, but leave that alone. Let's talk about real things. Create a structure that allows people to actually, have the autonomy. And no matter what we say in Nigeria, at the core of most of us is ethnic identity, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm a Nigerian. I am proud of both identities. I don't have to pick. But you must know that Nigerian identity is artificial. Yoruba identity is natural. There's no Nigerian culture. There's no Nigerian language. There's no Nigerian Guinea, unless we're deceiving ourselves, right? You have your ethnic identity. Be proud of it. Don't tell others, right, to jettison what makes them unique because you have nothing to be proud of where you come from in the name of unity. Like, that's rubbish. You may have problem where you're coming from. Doesn't mean that I should also now imbibe your stupidity and say, I don't want to really shine my light because that other person doesn't have candle. I don't care. I will help you with money to go and buy, but I will shine this light. If I'm shining, it will also help you, by the way. Anyway, this Osun State today, and we see how to talk about Balogun Oderinlo. Balogun Oderinlo has gone to Europe because we've gone everywhere. Anyway, let's go back to Osun. Some people want to talk. Let me read this Osun thing, then we can have people come up. If we can get to Balogun Oderinlo, then that's fine. So we're supposed to talk about Osun State, Peter Obi's former ally, and Oderinlo. Let's see how much we can take before we go on. So let's take this. You know what? I kind of like what we're doing. Let me bring some people up. Because what's the essence? I'm sure you can always get all this news elsewhere, but it's important to have these conversations, isn't it? Mimi Joseph wants to come up, so let's have Mimi Joseph. And Omos Aleko. Nigeria will work in our lifetime, by the grace of God. It will work. But we have to be bold enough to change the structure. This is not helping. And Tinubu is doing well, by the way. Please mute. You see what he's doing with somebody wrote that he might come up with regional system. I saw it in the comment section earlier. I should also say something about this regional system thing. I mean, it's good to have it, but let's be. I think we already have what we are looking for, but it's going to get better. And, we should just find a way to plug into. Sorry. Almost. I brought you up now. Okay, I'm going to send you an invite. We'll find a way to plug into the structure that we're seeing right now. I believe that President Tinubu is on the right track. You see the development commissions. I think in a way, it may not be the exact thing that we're thinking, but in a way, is that idea of regionalism. Someone says, can you juxtapose? Oh, this is CEO. Can you juxtapose Davido's rant with P Square's rant? We'll do that later. Let's just listen to other people for a bit, right? Let's have Mimi Joseph, and then we'll go to Omos Aleko. Please, let's keep it short, though.
Yeah, good evening. The toxic fandom, táwọn young Nigerians and shit, Yoruba youth should avoid it. As somebody going to 60, I can tell you young people that ìgbà táwa wà ní age wọn, kì í ṣerú àwọn Davido la máa ń tẹ̀lé. We were more like the Western countries, at least in Yoruba land. Our obìnrin mama wo àwọn Professor Bolanle Awe, Alele Williams. The men would look at Awo, Bola Ige, Jakonde, Ajashin. These young people, the fact that somebody sings well does not make them an intellectual. It doesn't increase their IQ in other areas. And I can see the toxicity of the Nigerian youth. It won't tell a very black guy. They just seem to think that the fact that you have money is equal to sense. Money is not equal to brain. Otherwise, Elon will be ruling us in America. Elon Musk is not our president. His foray into Dodge was trailed with criticism. Trump lay like our billionaire friends there, but the masses of America despise them. In Nigeria, opposite me, the masses keep following these goons and mediocres that lead them astray. Davido is not very intelligent. And I've said that, I've tagged him several times. Tó bá wù kó face one. Ó máa lọ sí Atlanta. Ó mọ̀ pé Georgia governor lè máa jó bí clown. Can't take it serious. The mayor of Atlanta cannot dance like a buffoon, but his uncle dances and puts his entire family in government. I saw something on Twitter yesterday. My husband said they put 8 members of Adeleke family, commissioner for local government, special assistant on this. The entire members, I want you to tell Davido, they like him because he's dancing. He's dancing because his bank account is full. And they're fools because they don't get it. He has nothing in his head and he can't offer them anything. So please, Nigerian, you stop equating money with sense. People may have money. They're not necessarily high IQ people. That's what I wanted to say about Davido. And on the issue of Europe and the rest of it, until an African country rises, that is a superpower, they'll never respect us. We face that here. Even Black Americans face it. See, Joti China did they? Nisi in America, they respect Chinese Americans. They'll never respect us, no matter our accomplishments as individuals and professionals. Until Tiru Ilubi Naijaba did they, don't is doing well. You know, that's why some of us are so proud when we see things that are positive about Nigeria, because it just helps us even on the world stage. So we need to look at how we can develop our own area so that our no ale ma compete. You are right. Nobody is going to patronize you and give you and dispense greatness. You're going to have to earn it, like China did, like some of the Arab countries have earned it. And the reason why they can call African Summit, Elon African Summit, like someone put in the comment section, is because leaders, when you have dancing buffoons in charge of a whole state, how are you going to, is that serious? That guy is not serious. I've never looked at him in any serious light. He's a clown. And the fact that people like that are in leadership position in Ijesha land, and in a state that has Ijesha is full of history. Ijesha ni Christianity, ni bastion Pentecostal Christianity in Nigeria. Ijesha people, they've been there all along. Not to talk of Oyo and the rest of Osun people. That man is not supposed to be a counselor in the old Yoruba society of Awolowo. Society ti Awolowo build though. Mr. Adeleke should not even be a counselor. But so people, younger people, please stop following these musicians. They might tell Dark Man, Blue Man, Davido, Doche, leave them to their personal opinions. They're not intellectually superior to you just because they have more money or more fame than you. Eshe?
Thank you so much. I want to clap for you. I really had a very good experience. Thank you. And while sincerely, I've thought about this election going on in Oyo, as about to happen or to take place in Osun State. I've thought about it several times. Who do you vote for? Who do you support? By the way, Bernard on YouTube, the audio is fine. Maybe it's your phone. Please just check, or you can go out and come back in. Thank you. I can't say for sure that okay, there's a particular candidate, and I have my reasons. But there's a report I saw that I thought I should share to confirm what Madam Mimi just said right now. This was reviewed by Dr. Tunde Fale, and he put out this thing about the budget, Osun State budget, right? And what he did was to draw or create a pie chart of the distribution of the projects and their value across the federal constituencies in Osun State. Now, Osun has 9 federal constituencies: Ede, Oshogbo, Ile-Ife, Ilesha, Iwo, Ila, Ikirun, Ijebu-Jesha, and Ikire. federal constituencies. So I'll just read some of the things to you, not everything, just a bit of it, to give an idea why there's an issue. This is a comparative analysis of distribution of um, projects and their value across Osun State federal constituencies. Ede federal constituency dominates the allocation, receiving 8 out of 20 projects, 40%, but accounting for 260.5 billion naira of the total. The remaining 8 federal constituencies share only 101.8 billion naira. That's 28.1% of the total project value. Oshogbo, despite being the state capital, receives 3 projects, which amounts to 31.2 billion naira or 8.6% of the total value. I'll go into the details later. Ikire federal constituency receives the least allocation with a single project worth only 29.97 million naira, representing just 0.01% of the total. So this is how it went. Ede is getting 260.5 billion naira. Right? That's 71.9%. Right? Oshogbo, state capital, is getting 31.2 billion naira. That's 8.6%. Ife is getting 17.6 billion, 4.9%. Elisha, 16.5 billion, 4.5%. Iwo gets 9.8 billion, 2.7. Ila, 9.4 billion, 2.6. Ikirun, 9 billion, 2.5%. Ijebu-Jesha, 8 billion, 2.2%. Then you have Ikire with 29.97 million, 0.01%. So here's the issue that I have with this thing. You are the government. Okay, Prof. Mr. Bayo, it's not a local government, though. It's your federal constituency. Okay? But here's the thing. Again, I'm sure as he's dancing, he's also doing stuff. But how do you concentrate projects in your hometown? And why do people do that? And you know that when you do things like this, I hope you, I mean, I don't know what the election will go, how the election will go. I don't want to say I hope he wins because I'm not supporting it. Good luck to all of them. Ambo, um, Jackson, or the other person in ADC, all of them, good luck to them. But when you do things like this, if the person leaves, does that not stop, or destroys the chances of people from his place being voted in the future? Because how can you get 71.9%? It's not 40%, Mr. Bayo, 71.9% for Ede constituency out of 9. It's not right. It's not right. And then when it comes to what Madam Amy said about people following people, I think we should just use Kalok Ogmoriwa. Let's also study. People say things, you can also fact check, and then we're like, okay, what makes sense could make sense, rather than just saying a celebrity has said something, and then we all go following. But thank you very much for that submission, Madam Mimi. And I wish Osun State the best, but I don't think it's cool to concentrate so much development in one constituency. Not even the federal capital, though. Let me tell you something. I grew up in Ibadan. In Oyo State, people complain that a lot of projects are done in Ibadan. To be fair, Ibadan is very big. Ibadan is wide. I was in Ibadan last weekend. Went to a particular part of the city. I was like, this place is in Ibadan. Ojinobi is still, and there's not the end of Ibadan. Ibadan is wide, so maybe that's why. But it's the capital. But even then, people in other zones complain about the concentration of projects in Ibadan. And so what Seyi Makinde has done, and you may have any issues with him, but he did this very well. He did this thing where he had road projects going on in different zones in Okeogun, in Isheyin, in Ogumosho, all over the place, to give people a set of kidney. But you can even argue that at least it's the capital. Now, in this case, it's not even the capital. It's your hometown. 71.9% of the budget goes to your hometown. Well done. Let's just go to the next person, please. Homo Saleko, good evening. Ẹkáàbọ sí orí.
Prof, báwo la ṣe kí n
So,
sìn? Bóyá kí n yá greeting Professor rẹ̀ mi. Ṣé Ọ̀ṣun Gbòkúẹ́nù làwọn akínyìn ni àbí Ifẹ̀ Kwẹ́nù?
èmi ò máa mọ o. Ṣé àsìkíwá lédè tó dáa.
It's so sad. Madam Mimi, like I have always asked what you asked the last time. How do Nigerian youth choose their celebrities or mentor? Because I'm from a lineage of academicians. When she mentioned Elisha, like my grandfather was one of those with Paduati that built Elisha Grammar School. And we are lineage of professors, Professor Adetokunbo Lucas and co. Like, that's my uncle. So, oh my yamilenu, like, okay, tó bá jẹ́ actor ni, àwọn òkè bóyá torí acting ló ṣe mú Olú Jacob. Tó bá jẹ́ ètò ló ń play chess ni àmọ́ pé ó lè mú Kasparov or káwọ́ pé bóyá torí log tennis ló ṣe mú Agassi àbí Pete Sampras. But people choosing Pella and Very Dark Man as their celebrity and role model, and I'm like, how? Where? And again, àwọn ọkùnrin wa lèmi fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ìjẹ́ bàbá mi máa ń sọ nǹkan kan pé Ọlọ́run má gbàjẹ́ ọmọkùnrin lọ́wọ́ yàn. Ọjọ́ kan mo wá bi wọ́n pé kí ló ń jẹ́jẹ́ ọmọkùnrin? Wọ́n ní ìjẹ́ ọmọkùnrin pín sí bí ọ̀nà mẹ́ta. Ìjẹ́ ọmọkùnrin owó, ìjẹ́ ọmọkùnrin làákàyè, àti ìjẹ́ ọmọkùnrin àlàáfíà. Ní pé ọkùnrin tó bá ṣọ́ọ̀tì ń kánú mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta kò ní ṣo lórí ilé ẹ̀. Àwọn obìnrin wa dẹ̀ máa fẹ́ gúnyàn mọ́lẹ̀ because one way or the other bóyá obìnrin mi fi pé àwọn obìnrin làkàgbára, so tó bá ti rágbára yẹn dìmú bóyá làákàyè ẹ̀ ni ò pé ni o, bóyá àlàáfíà ẹ̀ ni ò bówó ni o, wọ́n á gùn mọ́lẹ̀. This generation of weaklings and simp pandering need to stop. It needs to stop because òun ló ṣerú àwọn Yanisade Tokunbo yẹn, òun ló máa mọ́mọ bíbí Yorùbá tó jọmọ lé ọba àbí ìran Adélékè kan ṣèran ọba ni tó máa fi wò ó tó máa fi sọ pé Ìgbò wà lórí irun ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Igbo dey here too. It's àtìgbà tẹ́mi ti gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn. I mean, like, you know, academicians, like some prof, maybe like is a mathematicians, maths nìkan ló máa mọ̀ láyé ẹ̀ lè bí nípa social science kò rí anything contribute because ó devote gbogbo lé ayé ẹ̀ sí calculation. So because you are a celebrity pé o mọ orin kọ, ọ̀rọ̀ politics kò kàn ẹ́, ọ̀rọ̀ marriage ò kàn ẹ́, nǹkan tó mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe ni kó gbájúmọ́. Tábà dẹ̀ ń sọ like àwọn kan all in the name of pé a fẹ́ wà liberal, a fẹ́ ṣe àwọn èèyàn máa wò pé ẹja àfilẹ̀ báyìí ẹja àwọn àgbàlagbà ẹ má bínú ẹni ṣákátàpá aláàsì tán a máa sọ ni kò sí kéèyàn kó nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé ìwà búlẹ̀ ń wù yìí ìwà tó máa jẹ́ kí ó máa affect àwọn ọmọ wa lọ́la lẹ́ ń wù. So, Eja, I think I have a visitor. Eshego. Mute.
Sorry about that. Sorry. So thank you very much, Omar Sadeko, for that submission. We're going to hopefully hear the rest of it later. But I want to quickly play you something from Arise Town Hall that held earlier today. And Governor Deleke was there. Some of his opponents were also there. And this is one of them complaining about what I read out earlier. This is, one second. This is Muniruddin Bola Oyibamji, that everybody knows as Ambo, is the Osun APC governorship candidate. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Voting business of governance. I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to be accountable to my people. That's one thing. Again, that's one thing that is very important. As of today in Osun, 97% of our resources goes to 2 local governments. That's an aberration. Naturally, it is criminal. I'm going to run an inclusive government, and I'm going to make sure that all my people, cities, towns, villages benefit from my government. And I'm going to invest heavily on healthcare, on education. Our healthcare now is moribund in Osun. There is no single MRI, there's no single, let me just say that, diagnostic equipment. And you can't imagine, apart from that, the welfare of all the categories of staff in our health sectors will be enhanced and enriched. Because this is very important. As of today, we have 28,000 deficit of teachers in Osun. And education is just the bedrock of any form of achievement in the world.
All right, he had a lot more to say. We're not going to listen to everything, but that's the APC governorship candidate. We'll have to also listen to the incumbent and hear his own side of the story. Please take a listen to Governor Ademola Adeleke.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You
By the way, the voice you are hearing is the voice of Lasisa Olagunju, who is asking a question. Just, as an aside, Lasisa Olagunju is a fantastic journalist, brilliant writer, works in Tribune newspaper. So he's going to ask a question, and the president is going to respond. Take a listen, please.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You are called governor. You are the only governor Accord has in Nigeria. You are contesting against a party that has, I would say, 34 governors backing it.
Please, I can't hear you.
34. Okay. I said you are the only governor Accord as a party has in Nigeria today.
I'm the only one
Accord party. You are the only governor it has.
I'm the only governor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you are contesting against a party, the APC, that has 34 governors backing it. That is plus the power of the presidency and everything connected with it. Are you not worried that you will be overwhelmed and overrun on Saturday? Thank you, Your Excellency.
You don't know me. I'm a bulldozer. They don't call me Ashok Jackson for nothing. I'm a bulldozer. What does that got to do? If they don't let them bring all the 30-something government, they are all my friends. After they go, they even come and say, we are just playing low.
Quiet in the audience, please.
I can assure you, and then they want to come and vote in Osun State. They are not the one to come and vote now. They call it party intrigues. Other one is funfair. That I'm here to support our party, and that's it. At least most of them are well educated, they are very stable. Not one governor that comes to my state or whatever I do. Man, what type of name is that? You came to my state. You did not have, when someone want to come to your state, me as a city governor, you're supposed to have clearance. These people are not civilized. I'm a civilized administrator. Was it, 2 years ago, when I was in PDP, they made me the chairman of governorship committee. You know what I did? Immediately I landed Ondo, I went to ask that one. A lot of people are saying, no, we are not in different, we are different political parties. I said, no, he is the governor. I have to go and tell him that I'm in the state, to come and support my candidate. And I went to the State House. to tell him, and we greeted each other and I left. That is what civilized people, that's what they do. So all these ones that come over here, let them come and dance in Osun State. They're not the one to vote. So when they finish, I will call them, I saw you on TV.
Okay.
I just play Mama Fisher Lab. I'll play a bit of Governor Adeleke, then I'll play something from his APC counterpart. Take a listen to something from Ambo.
You didn't want to respond to the allegations by the opposition that your strongest asset is federal mind.
Well, let me respond.
Before you respond, I think you should listen to the allegation. 1 second. Let's have the allegations first so we have context. Take a listen to this, please.
If you know that you can win, why are you destroying my billboard? And I told my people, don't destroy their billboard. Leave it. Your governor is a peaceful person. Let the whole world see what they are doing. And they don't know they are kicking themselves for the leg. The more they hurt us, the more people love us. I say it again, when they go low, we go high. So you said it yourself, that you are disappointed, that they are destroying my people. Why would you do that if you know you can win? It's only mouth, it's only propaganda. So that was what happened. Well, I did not militarize. I don't have that capacity. I am not the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Mr. President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. And of course, I am not the Chief of Army Staff. I am not the Inspector General of Police. Maybe they have seen that the way they are killing people and everything, they have to make sure they bring in all the security agencies to come and protect life and property. So I thank them for that. On my own side, I'm always preaching for free and fair election because I know what is called democracy. It is the people, it's the Osun people that will decide. So I'm always preaching free and fair election. My people, let me talk to you. This election is going to be free and fair election. No violence. Even when you are about to vote, when somebody matches you, it's because they cannot win. Don't fight them. Don't say, thank you for matching me. Go and vote. And I know for the job that you have done, oh, Lord have mercy. I'm coming back for the second time. Ain't nobody stopping me.
Ain't nobody stopping me. I'm bad at that. Anyway, take a listen to the the APC governorship candidate, Ambo, that's Oyebamiji, as a response to Ruben Abati on some of the allegations on Adeleke. We're going to have somebody speak soon. I just want to take a few of these things before we go to the next speaker. Take a listen to this, please.
Allegations by the opposition that your strongest asset is federal mind.
Well, let me respond to that. I listened to the governor, and I can see that most of the answers to that question was not true. Sadly, how? I have visited 30 plus 1 area office local government in Osun State 3 times. Nobody has ever done that. First time I have to go and consult the party members if we are ready to take this government or not. And the response was overwhelming. Everybody responded and said that, yes, we need to take this government, the Osun State government from this government that is doing nothing to promote and to enhance both the development and the economic sector of our state. Again, I have to go around again when to the canvassers. We appoint 30 canvassers from each unit, which is about 112, 670 canvassers.
Let's go into some of the details that we may not probably need for this conversation. he said, she said, he said, his word against the other person's. But I want to play you just a few more clips. Some of the things that the governor said about his chances of winning, and also what the people of Osun State are saying. But let's first have the governor talking about the roads that he had built in Osun State, and then we'll listen to his chances of winning. Take a listen, please.
This day analysts or arising analysts. So two things, and I'll add them together. Number one, you've indeed spent a lot of time talking about your opposition, if I put it that way. And so I want to invite you to speak a little bit more about your vision for Osun State.
Thank you.
You travel quite a bit, and you see things. I grew up in Ife, so I hear you about the flyover in Lagiri, but the road to enter Ife is a disaster.
To what?
To enter Ife is a disaster.
To enter Ife?
Yes,
that is federal road.
It was, and I depends if we look at it as development. And I like what you have said. You said people in other parties are.
Do you know I've done how many federal roads and I've not been paid?
I understand.
I've done about 7 federal roads up to now. I've not been paid. So I will leave Osun State and start doing federal roads.
I was putting it.
So it's federal roads.
I understand, sir. I was just putting it in the context of the Lagiri flyover.
No. That's not fair. That question is not fair.
All right, sir.
That's federal roads. Talk about Osun State.
No problem.
Please leave federal roads.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
You've also talked about the fact that people in different parties are your friends. Democracy at the end of the day is about the people.
Of course.
It doesn't matter what party, PDP, APC,
because I'm civilized.
Precisely. And
Jesus is Lord. Let this lady speak. Gosh.
From Ondo State, and I like the example you gave. You went to see my governor.
Yes. Ask him.
Yes, it's okay. So let's extend the same courtesy as we talk about governors' names and their names, so that people who look up to you don't think it's okay. But then the last point I want to ask, state police. You said it was one of the ideas that you had. Now that the president is fast-tracking it, they're spending 7 weeks to look at the operating policy. Have you thought about what state police would look like in Osun if you come back? Because people are afraid that state governors will abuse it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, number one, the road that you mentioned there is federal road. Go to Ife, the cradle of Yoruba land. Go and see the wonders that I've done. So if I should use Osun money to start fixing federal roads and leave my own state, interstate, I've done about 8, 9. Up to now, they've not been paid. I've talked to the minister. I went to go visit him. I said, look, I've done this federal road, and he said, no problem. He's looking into it. So that one that he's talking about is federal road. If you come to Osun, you will see that I've constructed about 350 kilometers of roads, cut across. Like I said before, I went around Osun State. Some of the roads that have been abandoned, let me be specific, so I can go and fact check it. For example, 5 years, when the minute, see, I am the commissioner for works, because the first agenda is for me to fix the road. I went around all the roads. I said, Oderinlo Baju to rest. It's just only 10 minutes. Why is the road have been abandoned? Don't you have government? As I'm talking to you, that road is fixed. Fantastic road. And you can get to Oderinlo Baju from Iresi, just 10-15 minutes. That's one. There's this road too, they call it Tokere Road, to all the, what's it called? Odiomu, another, and Ejuaba. Was abandoned for 25 years. And during my campaign, when I went to that area, and they don't call me talk and do for nothing. I promised them that I will do it, and it's done already. Go and fact check it. So all the roads that I've done, because in Osun State we are farmers. If we don't have good roads, how are we going to have connectivity? So like I said, the road that you mentioned there, that question is not fair to the people of Osun State. It's federal road. Ask me about Osun State, Intercity, and all that roads. You will see that our education have done very well. Thank you very much.
She mentioned state police.
Okay, the state police. I believe in it. When I was in the Senate, the one that introduced
state policing. Let me tell you something. All this one that they are saying, oh, the governors will interfere, they will use the opportunity. I know that kind of governor. I have a fear of God. And I promise my God I'll be fair to people. If it is, even if I am coming, I know that by the special grace of God, I will come back for second time. If we eventually have state police, if it is my son, because I trained them very well, that committed offense, you go and face the law. That is it. I'm not going to bend for anybody. That is me. I'm not talking about other governors. So all this one that you will use it, I'm not, because me, Governor Ademola Jackson, Durudin Adeleke, I believe in rule of law. I will not do that. So I will make sure our police, they function very well so that they can come and do their job in protecting life and property. Thank you very much.
No comments. One more thing, and this is him talking about his chances, and I'll play you something from the people of Osun State. Take a listen to one more time to the governor of Osun State. Governor.
In 60 seconds, your final word to the people of Osun State, and should you not win the election, would you call the winner?
Well, my people, I'm seizing this opportunity to thank you for your support. And I know your conscience is telling you that I did not disappoint you. On the match again. Here we go again. You have gone around, you have seen the work that our administration have done. Just to mention for you, see in the infrastructure, 250 roads, have taken care of what our people needs, all their needs. And I want you to judge in that area and take a look at what we have achieved, so far. And that is what you're going to base your judgment. Now, talking about, should I lose the election? Number one, forget about it. I'm not going to lose this election because I'm so confident.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
I'm so confident that I will not lose this election.
Osun State.
And here's the people talk. I mean, the people of Osun State actually went to the road. I mean, so again, it's politics. That's why I'm not really talking about it. Sorry, please. There's a clown who just wandered in. Let us send him back to the man who failed to raise him properly. God bless you on your way out. Okay, I'm not going to send you away. I'm just going to mute you. Okay, that's okay. All right. The people in Osun State, Osun women actually went on the streets, and this is what they said. So they were asking the governor of the state to allow them vote. See, both of them, this one is speaking to that one. I'm not even going to get in the middle of it, right? But both sides are saying things and accusing each other about, suppression of voters and things like that. So anyway, we've had that. Now let's listen to Senior Man. Senior Man, are you there? Okay, let's have Fola Ritual wait for Senior Man. Good evening, Mr. Fola.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to thank you so much for what you do. And I'm not just saying this to flatter you, but my thanks is in line with what just happened. You see, it is only knowledge that empowers a person, and knowledge of who you are is very, very important. So you see, all these times that you take out time to read out those books, that you give us empirical facts of who we are, of where we are coming from, of what Nigeria is, of what we stand for, and for what our values and our culture is as Yoruba, as a Yoruba nation. It helps a lot because it helps us drive towards our cultural identity. So I really, really want to thank you. Now, Sherry, I've discovered something. And I don't know, maybe we are doing, yes, we are even doing it a lot now. We feel that the more European we are, or the more American we are, it makes us more classy, and therefore we least appreciate our own, or we put a little less emphasis on the greatness of our people. I was telling somebody some other day when he was trying to elevate the destiny of the white man. I said, see, let me explain something to you. For a people to have art, it means they were not on the lowest level on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In the sense that if food, clothing, and shelter is your problem, you don't think of art. So we've solved the problem of food, we've solved the problem of community. We were at the pinnacle. We had our code writing, we had our origins, we had our scientific means of doing things. And that is what many, I mean, a vast majority of Yoruba people do not understand. That is why they feel a white man has to come and rescue them. Are you kidding me? So a white man will just dash you something and he will not get something. Even if anybody dash you something, you should question it. My wife used to tell me something. She used to say that, see, it's the fact. So you just feel they will just do something for you. Sherry, and the thing to change to be nipe, àwọn ọmọ tó fi owó ńlá rán lọ sí school lélẹ́yìí. Federal University làwa lọ. Gbogbo owó tí mo san ní school kò wọ 15,000 naira, sir. It's about less than 10,000 naira. The highest school fees I ever paid was 3,560 naira. Ever. Highest. I paid in uni. But I'm now looking at it that mo wá lọ́pọlọ bí irú ọmọ Fálànà. Tí ó lè put right from left. Or irú òpònú eléyìí tó lóun lọ school Atlanta. Tí ó gbọ́n, wọ́n ní kó kọrin náà kó freestyle. Ó sọ easy, easy, easy. Orin náà ó mọ̀ kọ. Wọ́n kọ́ fún ẹni. Ọpọlọ ò ní. Ṣé rántí pé wọ́n lè NYSC? No, because àwọn ẹni tá máa believe ní. Now let's even know ya. Nítorí olóòtú nítorí ẹ mọ̀ pé ọmọ Ọ̀ṣun ni nítorí ẹni mo ṣe lọ síbẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ tread carefully. But since to Gen Party establish àwọn kankan.
I'm not for any of them.
I know.
So go ahead.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé bàbá tó ń pe Ọ̀ṣun ní state of Ọ̀ṣun ló fa gbogbo kìíní? Bàbá ń bá ń tẹ burúkú tó pera ẹ̀ láfa. Nítorí pé tí kò bá ń ṣòun ni irú àwọn nuisance báyìí ò ní dé government house. See, it was so unfortunate that Governor Oyetola could not do so much because of the damage his predecessor did. I'm not saying Oyetola was fantastic, but this very guy, this your very governor, the only thing that is helping him is because he's an Adeleke. He has no strategy, F9 parallel in WAEC. Abeti Gbagbesa. Yes. What show first time? I'm not even to be senator yẹn. What look result F9 parallel ló gbà. Okay, attempt loss or not one, Nika pass. Attempt ni.
Undiluted 9.
You're da fún yín sir. Ẹ ṣé F9 parallel ló gbà. Èèyàn tó gba F9 parallel ní WAEC, ó wá di governor nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. The only reason is because he was an Adeleke. And kani baba Orungbon yẹn nítorí mi fẹ́ máa porúkọ wọn. Kani baba Orungbon funfun tó ń so bàǹtẹ́mọ̀dì. Tó pera wọn láàfà. Kani pé what he play politics wọn right ni. Wọ́n bá ti jẹ́ kó bá ti fún wọn ní tiwọn. You understand? He would have discussed it better. But he did not do the right thing. And these people, they raised an anger. The anger that they used for Oyetola was against Ogbeni. Because of what he did, he scattered the whole school system. He brought religious extremism. He dabaru everything. He stopped paying salaries. You know the allocation of your state was very low, and you went into elephant project. And on me, say another thing. Kill off fi airport ṣe lọ́ṣun. Ó wá gbé kúrò ní wherever tó fẹ́ gbé sí, ó gbé lọ sẹ́dẹ̀. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé níjọ́ Friday wọ́n ṣí. Àbí ṣá máa tún ti airport pa níjọ́ Friday. ẹ ṣáà ti lọ sẹ́dẹ̀ rí olóòtú ẹ mọ̀.
Mo ti lọ sẹ́dẹ̀ rí ṣùgbọ́n mo kàn kì í ṣe lọ́jọ́ Friday.
Wọ́n ṣí níjọ́ Friday dàbí Sunday lẹ́dẹ̀ ni o ẹ lè róúnjẹ rà Mama Put ò ń ṣí Friday. A ní Friday dàbí Sunday wọ́n ń lọ síbi iṣẹ́ rárá. Àwọn tó ń ṣí ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọn ń lọ ibi iṣẹ́ àfi àwọn iṣẹ́ ìjọba. So as I was saying, how did we come this low as a people that we had to vote in such a person? And the only reason why he did well in his administration was because of the reforms of the president. Because now more monies are released to them to do more things. These kind of funds were now available to people like Oyetola and the bearded man. But he has these resources, so he will do better. Obviously, he will do better. But which character, I beg of you, who will like his father to go on his wedding day and dance like this man? He's just dancing everywhere, embarrassing himself, and I don't understand it. And we share this thing. Mommy Mimi to us, I really appreciate what she said, that the kind of role models people have nowadays. You're having the very dark monster. All of us have seen his private parts on internet before. That is who you call your role model. Or you pick all these non-entities, no form of education, no prowess, and it's because they lack the knowledge of who they are. So I really, really thank you for this platform, that at least you are bringing self-identity. There were some things I did not know about the Yoruba race that I've acquired. I've had to go and buy books to learn because of I joined this platform. Thank you very, very much for the work you do. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for that submission. I really appreciate it. Even though you were throwing darts at the governor of my state of origin. Let me sit down properly.
Permission.
I mean, fair enough. To be honest, I'm neither here nor there for them. I just don't like what I'm hearing. I mean, how can you have 79.1% of the projects dedicated to a particular federal constituency out of 9, and it has to be your own constituency? You talk about building bridges in other places, but you look at the volume and the cost of the things you've done in other places, is nothing compared to what you're trying to do where you come from. It doesn't really make too much sense. And that airport thing, it will never, I don't know if it will ever make sense. Let me just say it that way. Because number one, so somebody asked me a question on Twitter some days, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, like, why do you have a problem with the project, with the airport project in Osun State, and why do you have a problem with the fact that it's in Ede? I mean, I just asked some questions, and some of the things I said, was, number one, of all the needs that Osun State has at the moment, do you really think airport should be priority? Number two, considering the proximity of Oshogbo to Ibadan and Ikeja, why do we really need to have an airport in Osun State right now? Number three, why did they move the project to Ede from Ido-Osun? Number four, what is the pressing economic demand that Osun State requires, that Osun State has right now, that requires an airport? Those are the four questions I asked the person. I don't know if the person has not responded. I hope they find time to respond. The point I'm trying to make is that I don't see any reason for an airport now, or even in the near future. There are so many other things that we can be doing. Productive things. It's not about landing planes. There's an airport in Ibadan. There are airports there's a Murtala Mohammed International Airport, but there's a domestic wing, of course. There's airport in Ikeja. Why on earth would you want to build an airport in Osun State when it's not like you're bringing so much money in as internally generated revenue? You are still depending on the federal allocation on a monthly basis. What exactly is the airport for? Someone said there's airport in Akure. Yes, there's airport in Akure. But at least Ibadan's mainly Ibadan Soshogbo. And you know what? If you don't want to drive, you can take a chopper. Take a chopper from Ibadan to Shogbo. You'll be there in, who knows, less than 30 minutes. Maybe even 15. So what exactly is this thing about? Everybody wants to have an airport. Everybody wants to have an airport. Someone says there's gold in Osun. Of course there's gold in Osun. And when this same governor came up with the Shegi Lola company, I applauded him, to be able to, thank you, 10 minutes. Also, it's 10 minutes from Ibadan to Osogbo by via chopper helicopter. So why do we need to have an airport? If we have an airport in Osogbo, we're going to have another one in Ife. I'm going to consider, sorry, now that we're not even putting Osogbo is in Ede. So which one are going to give people Ilesha? Since we are distributing airport as largest. The point is, it is not, I'm not saying it's not going to ever be important, but it's not necessary. You know, I was talking to someone earlier today. We were talking about universities in Nigeria and how the landmass. Of course, the university that has the largest landmass in this country is University of Ilorin. The second university with the largest landmass is Obafemi University, over 11,000 hectares, right? In that uni, one of the plans they had for Ife was a landing strip. A landing strip. Which tells me something. Let's say you even want to create something in Osun State, maybe a landing strip. Because I mean, look, I'm from Osun State, so it's not. What's the commercial viability of an airport in Osun State right now? What are we doing that requires an airport to? What do we need airport for? Now, I'm not saying we will never need it, but now, with every issue, with all the things that you've seen on ground right now, you have, of course, he has done some roads, but there's a lot more that can be done in terms of productivity. What's the word? Attracting businesses into Osun State. That should be paramount, right? But no, we must all everybody must have airport. Èèyàn mélòó ló ń fò wọnú kíní airport yẹn? Ṣé lọ́sẹ̀ kan ṣàlèrè tó yan 50,000 tó máa fẹ́ fly from Osun State? You know, I don't understand where our leaders. I mean, anyway, everybody will be all right. That Ido Osun, the reason they moved it from Ido Osun to Ede, I also don't understand. Why are you concentrating things in your homeland? Because when you do that, you're also telling people that you're more concerned about that place. So what happens? Are we now saying that? So if I become governor today, I should just concentrate on Ife? This is not how things should be. At least you evenly distribute. Even if you use federal constituencies or use senatorial districts, something that makes people also feel, yeah, you can see one thing that he did, which is good. I saw the video of the bridge at Lagere. Even though if you ask me, and it's due to no fault of his, it's not due to no fault of Adeleke. The road they constructed from Lagere through Iremo to Enuwa, I think it should have gone through Oja. They have gone through the Oja to Sabo all the way to Okpa, because that's even the most, is the busiest. These are government people. They need help. One fi ọ̀nà tó busy, one feel it. I'm happy that this is July, so it's easier to access the palace. But if you think commercial one lane, look, airport. Ẹkáàbọ, Berg by you. Good evening. Sorry, senior man is the next person. Please, let's try and keep it short. It's already past it. We're not going to do any Balogun Oderinlo today, maybe tomorrow. But let's try and keep the comments short. Thank you. Good evening, senior man.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I greet everybody. I'm a Yoruba man, but unfortunately, my Yoruba is not too good. So please permit me to speak in this language.
Please feel free. I mean, I speak English as well, so please go on.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, what I want to talk about mainly is about who we are as a people, like who we are as Africans, who we are as Yoruba people, and the fact that a lot of us have forgotten the two things that are supposed to make us what we are, which is our values and our ambition for success. We look in our society right now, and there's a lot of mediocrity that we've allowed due to circumstances. But if we remember who we are from the idea of being descendants of people who had governments, who had science, our people had glass. We discovered iron before Europe. That means we had ideas on alchemy, of science and physics. Our mathematics is basically in base 20. So If more people are more accustomed to this, knowing the value of what they are, like this thing that I got to know on this platform, which is Awani Mole Oguadulawo. That was a very profound mantra to go by, because if we know from within that we are light, the way we carry ourselves, the way we impact our society is going to be different. If we instill this in our children, we should forget what is going on all around. We should not let other cultures pollute who we are. Our children, that's the most important part, should have the confidence in being Yorubas, confidence in being Africans, not shying away, being victims in the face of the white man or in the face of achievements. If you say you are not up to the white man based on the fact that he gave you a phone, okay, the white man is not up to you in terms of washing his hands, because we washed our hands first. How about iron? How about a lot of things that we've discovered before white people? That confidence has to be brought back in the way we look into the world and the way we assess everything that we do in life. So that's basically my message. Awani Mole Ugoadulawa, we should continue in that light and not let go of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. That's a very by the way, I should also say that that phrase, I did not come up with it. That was written by Papa. Although wrote the lyrics, the anthem we now sing, Awani Mole Awani Ogwadulawo. That particular, I mean, the entire anthem is essentially the lyrics. The lyrics was written by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and the music was, composed by Chief Hubert Ogunde. So, and I think it's profound. Like just like you said, Awani Mole Ogwadulawo, it puts a lot of responsibility on you in terms of shining your light. That's why I said we should not dim our light, for others. So thank you very much for that submission. I really appreciate it. And Omotola was talking about Ekiti in the comment section. Are you from Ekiti? Because you're speaking of Ekiti so passionately. Someone in the comment section wrote that Ekiti has, I think it's on YouTube, that Ekiti also has an airport. I know it's going to make the trip easier for the government officials, right? It's going to make it a lot easier. They're just going to fly from Abuja. But the point is it for government people or for the citizens, the residents, and also is it going to drive productivity? Are we going to have businessmen now flying in? Somebody mentioned that Osun State has gold. Yes, it does. But we all know our problem in this country is structural. The gold in Osun State today is not even controlled by Osun. Sorry, can you hear me? Someone says they have audio issues. Please, can you hear me on TikTok? Okay, maybe it's you, Dr. Baj. You may have to step out a bit. All right. So thank you very much, Motoba. So here's the thing. There's gold in Osun, but we all know that the way Nigeria constitution is, solid minerals and things like that is under the exclusive list. The governor does not have any right over those things. So the best the governor can do is what he did, and I applaud what he did by setting up a company, partnering with an organization with a company in that field to ensure that part of whatever it is that is being made accrues to the government of Osun State, and by extension the people of Osun State. But in actual fact, when it comes to mining in Nigeria, it's under the purview of the Minister of Solid Minerals. The governor doesn't have any say in that. All right. But the thing is, the other things that Osun State can do that can actually bring productivity. When we talk about VAT, for instance, Osun State is number 34 in terms of VAT contribution in this country. Well, we can say it's not the last, but 34 is not a very good out of 37. You see? So these are the things that make one wonder. And sincerely, I've never really felt like, what do we do about Osun State until this election? Because the things I hear, I'm like, and let me tell you, it's not good when I'm not going to say anybody is the worst of us, but generally speaking, people who get into government, maybe because you also see it's not very cool. For me, they are too loud and violent and all those things. But guess what? We can't keep complaining, So maybe we should begin to work towards the next 4 years, or maybe even maybe get some appointment or something. All of us, let's start thinking, because if you don't get in there, we should not just be complaining, because it's not cool. Anyway, those of you who are interested in politics, please start getting involved, get in there, however you can, whether it's a special advisor or you get in the wards and you do local government or state house of assembly or house of reps, whatever you have to do, Sha. Let's get involved so that we don't keep complaining about some people have F parallel. It is well. But thank you, senior man, for that submission. Let's have Bug by you, and then we'll have a doubt, or then we'll call it a day. Please let's keep it short because I really have to run. Bug by you. Good evening.
Good evening, Professor. I'm really
Welcome, sir.
glad to join your platform, and I give kudos to everyone who has spoken. Madam Mimi, very eloquent. When until Bani gift of talking, we say everyone has spoken about what he wants to say. So for once, I don't know why, because I'm from Osun, especially I'm from Ile-Ife with Prof. My name is my name is Lanre Omishori. Baba Johnson Sakin me. Yes. Yes, sir.
Since we are talking as someone for Osun State governorship.
Ọ̀ṣun yìí Ifẹ̀ ní ó ti di Adébù lọ́rọ̀ ọ̀fẹ́. Kọ́lọ́n kó bá wa ṣe ni. Especially from the if Osun has not played with the national politics, we are like a prodigal child. When everybody is moving, Osun is moving right. Osun is when every state is moving right, Osun is moving left, and I don't know why. But we have once in a lifetime opportunity to get it right by putting the right manager, the manager Osun. For once, Osun ranks lowest in terms of resources or a contribution to the national government. As it is, Osun has not had a good manager, and we don't know what we actually have. We have of rumors of gold, for instance, in Garage Olode, which Adesoji Aderemi gave to my grandfather the land, and as such, the king there is my uncle. The land is there. The gold. There are rumors the gold is there, but it's not well managed. It's not well. We don't have a good manager, not soon, and we don't play our politics right. If we miss it this time by putting the wrong manager there to manage Osun in this upcoming election, I think we're just gonna lose it. We're just gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, sir,
Sherry, for instance, Adeleke has a lot of energy. When the other guy, not so enthusiastic. But Adeleke is not a good. I don't think Adeleke is a good manager. It's a good person. It's different from being a good manager. Then, in terms of all these things that we have seen, we have read, in terms of the allocation, how he has actually done it in Osun, I don't think Adeleke, I think their family now, they when they come, I think it is time for them to just pack and go. And also we are talking about our own. Any full-blooded Yoruba person should not be a governor, should not hold any political. That's my philosophy, my point of view. Should not hold any because we cannot do the same thing in Anambra. We cannot. Neither can we do in Abia State.
The idea, no comment section.
The idea that we'll have this is an aberration. It's already. For instance, now I spoke to my brother the other day, who is very, very well connected with what's going on. And Baba Mayowa, back in the days, in the glorious days, Baba Mayowa called Ilemeta. Don't tell around. Those houses, I'm hearing from him because he has a house in LALA. LALA used to be like a GRA back in the days. But now the Fulani and the Hausa, they have entered those local areas. Now they are purchasing it. Likewise, the Igbos, from other tribes. I think it is high time. I've spoken about this before, Prof, about this issue. We speak, we cannot just pay lip service to these issues. These are the things that might define our future tomorrow. And we are selling in at the rate at which Lagos is going to be like a child play. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. As the Fulani are purchasing, they are just burrowing through our communities, burrowing through it. The highest bidder is buying. The highest bidders are buying our land. They are buying our properties. Therefore, they will begin to have children. Remember now, this is how the Palestinians. This is how they lost their identity. This is how they lost their land, because they wholeheartedly welcome. Maybe they didn't have a choice, but they welcomed the Israelis onto their land, and all of a sudden they went now. By the time they came back, the Israeli they had gone, and they closed the door against them. And also because I'm a genuine bona fide Omolefe. The days when Baba Awolowo will come to Ile-Ife, it will bring Balaige with him, and Eme Omishade, they will come. Our house was the Mecca where everybody came to take a glimpse of Baba Awolowo. In those days, things were done, but right now I for once think we are losing it. And I think it is that time not to just talk about what is happening in our communities. We need to actually have a foresight on how we're going to move forward. For instance, when you go to the other side, when you go to Marrakech side, the Marrakech are almost as homogeneous as the Igbos. They will not sell any of their land. Why is it that we, the Ife, we are making the same mistake?
Because Modake land is small. So they have to
Prof.
guard it.
Prof. My father and my grandfather, all their land, they've been chasing away. They cannot go. My father was wealthy. The reason why my father was wealthy, because we had land. Cocoa farm. My father was wealthy, almost like a drug dealer back in the days. That's how wealthy my father was, and he traveled all the way. He had friends like Odutola. Those are some of his friends. But now that land, they've chasing them out of that land. So I know the land. Oyo. Those are. It's not. You are looking at it from Our Lady side. But when you go deep down, it's a vast land. But those people are very, very wise. if we have not learned our lesson and we are selling our properties left and right. Likewise, in Osun, back to Osun, I don't think Adeleke is a good manager. Okay, so that's, I mean, that's pretty much about.
No. Finish your thoughts on Adeleke that you're trying to say.
Prof, yes, Adeleke, I don't think Adeleke is a good manager. He cannot be a good manager. If we miss it these 4 years that Ashwaju is there, it's going to be disastrous for us in Osun. Pick it. As how that Davido pick it. As how that Davido would now be threatening the president of Nigeria that is going to call Trump, and he has actually done it. How dumb can that be? So you begin to see some of those tendencies. You begin to wonder: is this thing just an accident? No, it's not. It's not an accident. You will know that because Adeleke, typical of what the Igbos are, is speaking out of it. So now we need to really be careful. This is why Osun needs to be delivered this time for the people of Osun, because some of them are so ignorant, they don't actually know what is about to be for them. If we have another 4 years of Adeleke, no Osun, I don't see how we get out of it. Osun is just going to be out of it. When you look at Anambra, you look at as much as development may not be as big as what we used to have. You look at Alex Oti, you look at Soludo. These people are really they are doing something, and they're very competitive. So Osun, we need a good manager. That's my own submission.
Thank you very much, brought by you, and it's good to know that there's an Omishore listening here. I mean, when you hear the name Omishore, not there for me, and I think Omishore is also supporting Ambo because he's an APC. But we'll see how this election goes.
It's my uncle. It's my uncle. He doesn't. I don't think he had much of a card to play in this, but to support Ambo.
Absolutely. It was wise to actually support the party, because any other thing I don't think it would have been too good for him. But thank you very much for that. We're going to begin to wrap up now because of time. Some people are trying to come up, but I really have to go. We're supposed to leave at 8 o'clock. So let's just have 2 more people. Omo Isaleko will finish his thoughts because he was trying to speak up earlier. And then we'll go to Daughter, who will wrap up, and then we'll call it a day. We're supposed to read the book Balogun, Oderinlo in Yoruba history. And today I was going to actually read some other books like Yoruba, a history of Yoruba by Professor Sibaji Akintoye. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, and also a couple of other books just to understand Balogun Oderinlo a bit deeper. We'll do that when we come around tomorrow. If you're joining us for the first time, we have these sessions every weekday, Mondays to Fridays, 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. So we'll be here tomorrow to have news, and then we get into Balogun Oderinlo. Hopefully, at some point, we can get back to the other topic we're discussing, earlier. But we'll see how that goes. But for now, let's have Omo Saleko, and then we'll wrap up with the Daughter. Omo Saleko.
Yeah, so like I said, I have interest in Osun State. I have like my farms in Elisha, and the last speaker was talking about this gold thing is a menace. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ ni wọ́n àwọn tó ń ṣe ọmọ ní gold lọ́wọ́ ló ń ṣe.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ Omo Saleko, ọ̀rọ̀ tí Brock by you sọ́lẹ̀ kan táwọn gbẹnu lẹ́sìn tẹ́tánú lẹ́sìn wọ́n láwọn ibìkan ló ń fẹ́ náà gbọ́ àwọn náà mọ̀ kúrò yẹn wọ́n ti bá àwọn area kan jẹ́ tẹ́ pé ilé òṣè kọ́ mọ́ ń bẹ̀ tó pé wọ́n wá gold wà ń fẹ́ different parts of Ife ó dẹ̀ tún wà ń Iléṣà náà, but I think there's something that the government has to do in order to ensure that they're actually regulating the mining of this mineral resource in places like Ife and Iléṣà. But please continue.
So like those are like farmlands, and Tebari, the weight of Omadabi Bati Gully erosion, Jebobo Lenyeni. Kotu le share anything, but if I call it Sibeni, that is sand fill Bobo Pada, because they just destroyed the land. It won't be good for farming, it won't be good for building because of some people. At the end of the day, like they are not doing it, they can't get nuggets. dust laundry, they will look for the dust, but nítorí bóyá bí 10 or 20 gram tó bá máa rí, wọ́n máa destroy gbogbo ilẹ̀ yẹn. It's so sad. And I don't know, our Yoruba people wọ́n ní tógìrì ò bá lanu aláǹgbá ò lè wọbẹ̀. Àwọn olè lílọ́ máa pè títa wájà. Àwọn mọ́là ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn o. The malas, the northerners, àwọn ọlọ́mọ bó ṣe ń ṣe kìíní yẹn bá àwọn èèyàn wa. Wọ́n máa kó bọ̀n dání báyìí, wọ́n máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tó máa guide wọn báyìí torí èlò. So like I said, I need àti mọ ìjẹ́ Yorùbá wa, ó need àti padà wá. We as ọmọ aládé, ìjọmọkùnrin wa, I need àti jẹ́ pé tó bá lọ fi kíní ẹ̀ kàn káàkiri tó fi kàn dọ́dọ̀ àwọn yanmírín, o gbúdọ̀ lè jọkùnrin bẹ́ẹ̀, o ò ní fi adùn ìṣẹ́jú 5 tiẹ̀ tó ṣe kó wá fi dá wàhálà lẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ tiwa. The Yoruba people, I don't know, obìnrin náà nọ̀ràn míyàn lọ ṣe ní Benin tó di àwọn Benin wà lọ́rùn wa. Obìnrin la ṣípa ṣe ní Benin tó di wàhálà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Obìnrin náà ló máa fi mú wa. Ṣé dandan ni ká tọ̀ kiri kó dá wàhálà lẹ̀ sí wa? Obìnrin la Délékè náà lọ ṣe ń sìn yìí ló fún wa ní Davido. At least tó bá yẹ pààyàn ta mọ lé ìyá ẹ̀ àbí lé bàbá ẹ̀. Ẹnìṣẹ́ bá lọ kìlọ̀ fún wọn. Àmọ́lé ìyá àti bàbá àwọn tó fẹ́, òun ló wà lọ́rùn wa ń sìn yìí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run, ẹ̀yin tó kù náà tẹ́ ń ṣe ẹ mọ bí tẹ́ máa ṣe sí. Kẹ́ má dá wàhálà lẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ tiwa because àmọ́jọ́ táwa máa lò. Àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn àwọn ọmọ yín ló máa sọ fáwọn ọmọ wa pé ilẹ̀ àwọn àti ilẹ̀ kíní kan pípa àwọn ní Surveyor General tó máa wọnlẹ̀ fáwọn kan lórí ilẹ̀ àwọn baba ńlá baba wa. These are the land people have sweat and bled for, and some people will just come. Kò sílẹ̀ mọ́. Èkó gan gbogbo sanfili àríbi sanfili bí alára ká máa sọ ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ inú lẹ̀lẹ̀ wá ẹ̀ níbi tẹ́ máa sanfili tẹ́ máa wá gé fáwọn tó nílẹ̀. Ẹ o prof ẹ ṣe gan. Ẹ dá ọ̀tọ̀ ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta o. Mo máa ń rí yín lá other side yẹn. Ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta.
Kọ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ ṣe gan, ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́wàá o.
Mute àgbọ̀yìn.
Sorry about that. Mo ní tán bá rí odò tán sanfil, wọ́n á rí àpáta bìwó láti fẹlẹ̀ lójú. But on a serious note, people should we have to understand the fact that marriage, relationship is beyond sex. It's also beyond, oh, I like this person. There are cultural implications. There are far-reaching implications to the things that we do that includes cultural preservation and identity, which I think is what you see in this, in the examples. And Bogba, you also mentioned that if somebody is not fully Yoruba, they should not become politicians. I mean, for me, I think there are people who are not fully Yoruba. I just think it's about a particular part of Nigeria that actually somehow produces the worst mix, in my opinion. Well, not every time, to be fair. There are also exceptions to the rule. But generally speaking, when you mix up with certain people, you tend to look down Yoruba heritage and just act funny. Shall be careful when you're getting involved with people. Let's be mindful of our cultural differences. It doesn't mean you should not do it, but like they say, if you're going to break the rules, at least know the rules first. Know what the rules are. Understand the culture. Understand the differences. Stop assuming sameness because you want to get someone in your bed. All right, thanks for that. Let's go to the final speaker for today. That will be Edauto, and then we'll call it today. Good evening, Edauto Kwajometa.
Good evening, sir. How you doing?
Hey, American English, how you doing?
Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lè kọjá bó ṣe yẹ. Ẹ wo ẹ ti gbàgbé ẹ fi account sókè fún àwọn tó bá fẹ́ support. Mo sọ pé tẹ́ bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ máa tètè máa ṣe kíní ẹ̀ so that àwọn tó bá fẹ́ support because it's a movement and bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ from time ni pé tí àwọn Christian bá sọ pé owó ni kẹ̀kẹ́ ìhìn rere, owó ni kẹ̀kẹ́ ìhìn burúkú náà because tíyàwó ẹni bá lẹ́nu èèyàn máa ń lẹ́sẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan kẹ̀dẹ̀rẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ tí nǹkan bá ti jẹ́ movement ó máa need láti kó gbogbo nǹkan sínú á need owó á need agbára á need gbogbo nǹkan ló máa nílò so nítorí ẹ̀ àwọn tó ń bá fẹ́ ran movement ẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ẹ máa fún wọn láàyè èyí tó dáa jù ńbẹ̀ òun ni pé kán máa share ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe yìí gbogbo nǹkan táwọn èèyàn kán máa share ẹ̀ àwọn èyí tó bá ní láti pa WhatsApp kán máa tap so that a máa reach wider audience because kò sí nǹkan kan tó wúlò nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tá a fẹ́ sọ ju àgbékalẹ̀ lọ tá a bá wá ní àgbékalẹ̀ tó dáa ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn nílò láti délé kó dóko nítorí tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó dáa tá a dẹ̀ gbé kalẹ̀ dáadáa táwọn èèyàn púpọ̀ ò bá gbọ́ kò ní padà wúlò kò ní ṣiṣẹ́ ọgbọ́n tá a fẹ́ kó ṣe. When we talk about our land, we are not just talking about the dust beneath our feet. We are talking about the sweat, blood, and passion of our forebears buried beneath our feet. Kò kí n ṣe pé à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ilẹ̀ dust eruku táwọn èèyàn rìn rárá. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìyà, ìṣẹ́, ẹ̀jẹ̀, ogun tí àwọn tó ń ṣẹ̀ wá àwọn baba mọ́nímọ́ní àwọn baba mọ̀yànmọ̀yàn tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ wá tí wọ́n bí wa tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa tí wọ́n ṣe sílẹ̀ láti jẹ́ káwa wá jẹ́ alájogún bá àwọn nǹkan yẹn. Now ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò kì í ṣe just that geographical location yẹn gangan nìkan ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú continuation àwọn tí wọ́n ja ìjà ilẹ̀ yẹn àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ ilẹ̀ yẹn dó àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe ilẹ̀ yẹn tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí ilẹ̀ yẹn di nǹkan tí gbogbo ayé ń wárí fún ní gbogbo Áfíríkà lénìí kò sí ilẹ̀ kankan tó dàbí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan ló ní ibi tí ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èèyàn parapọ̀ sí jọpọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà kò síbì kankan nílẹ̀ Áfíríkà tó jẹ́ pé lẹ́ni ìtẹ́bá débẹ̀ ẹ̀ kọ́ dédé bá 20 million people lójú kan kò sí. Kí dẹ̀ ló fà á tí àwọn èèyàn tó pọ̀ tó yẹn fi lè wà lójú kan lórí ilẹ̀ kéńkélé? Nǹkan tó fà á ni bí àwọn ẹ̀yà tí wọ́n ní ilẹ̀ yẹn ṣe máa ń treat àlejò. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé wọ́n máa ń kó àlejò mọ́ra wọ́n máa ń tọ́jú àlejò kódà wọ́n gbà láti ṣe ara wọn nínú àwọn nǹkan kan kí àlejò lè gbádùn ju kí àwọn torí ẹ̀ lẹ ṣe máa rí pé ńgbà míì ẹ rí pé àwọn àlejò ńgbà míì wọ́n lè máa ṣe dáadáa ju àwọn ọmọ onílé lọ ńgbà míì nítorí pé àwọn ọmọ onílé kan máa fara wọn sílẹ̀ pé wo ibi báyìí a nílò àwọn pípù yìí o nǹkan nǹkan kò ń ṣe pé torí pé àwọn ọmọ onílé ò mọ nǹkan tó yẹ kán ṣe àwọn ni wọ́n ṣèlú wọn dáadáa tẹ́ ẹ fi ń wá bẹ̀. Mo wà lórí ìjọ kan ó ti pẹ́ mo wà lórí platform kan lẹ́nìkan sọ pé àwọn dájú òyìnbó lọ ó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà ó wọ plane láti wọ́n dáwó lápò fún ẹ wá sí Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n wá gbà ẹ́ sí company kan ní Amẹ́ríkà